Chapter 40-44. Xiao Niu looked at Lu Ming angrily and said, Mu Yun, what do you want? What do I want? Don't tell me you can't figure it out? This abyss devil spirit blood is mine. Now hand it all over, said Lu Ming coldly. Xiao Niu and the others still wanted his evil demon spirit blood. That was ridiculous. He had thought that Xiao Niu and the others were free labor so that he could find time to kill more evil demon spirit blood. Mu Yun, you want to monopolize the evil demon spirit blood. You're too greedy. If we hadn't risked our lives, you wouldn't have been able to defeat the evil demon's formation. Everyone has a share of the evil demon's spirit blood. The rest is yours, said Xiao Niu. I'll give you 10 seconds to hand over the evil demon's spirit blood. Lu Ming ignored Xiao Niu and looked at all the people who had collected the evil demon's spirit blood. Everyone's expression changed and they felt pressured. Don't worry about him. We collected it ourselves. Why should we give it to him? The Heavenly Palace has a rule that we can't kill each other. He won't dare do anything to us, said Xiao Niu, looking at Lu Ming coldly. The Heavenly Palace had a rule that heavenly soldiers couldn't kill each other. If he didn't hand over the evil demon's spirit blood, what could Lu Ming do to him? That's right, we won't hand it over. That's right. Let's see what he can do, shouted the others who had collected the evil demon's spirit blood. Then, they gathered around Xiao Niu. The evil demon's spirit blood had been left by evil demons of the 7th godly emperor layer and above. There were even many evil demons of the 9th godly emperor layer. How many merit points could they be worth? Merit points represented treasures and wealth. Asking them to hand over the evil demon's spirit blood was like cutting off their flesh and blood. Shameless! Shameless! Shit, I want to kill them, shouted Lu Ming's team members. They gnashed their teeth and stared at Xiao Niu and the others. Oh, is that so? Lu Ming whispered. The cold glint in his eyes intensified. Formation, rise. Suddenly, Lu Ming shouted softly. What? Lu Ming's team members were stunned. Was Lu Ming going to activate the battle formation to deal with Xiao Niu and the others? However, this was a violation of the heavenly rules. I told you to activate the battle formation. Don't you understand? If anything happens, I'll take responsibility for it. Lu Ming's voice turned cold. Activate the battle formation. Rise. At this moment, everyone activated the battle formation. The golden sword light shone brightly, and the sword light traversed between heaven and earth. Mu Yun, what are you trying to do? You dare? You dare? Xiao Niu roared. Whoosh. A strand of golden sword chi swept out, tearing the void apart at an astonishing speed. Puff puff. Beside Xiao Niu, a few heavenly soldiers did not react at all. Their bodies were cut into several pieces, and even their souls did not escape. They died on the spot. Everyone was stunned. The people from the other team were stunned. Xiao Niu was also stunned. They did not expect that Lu Ming would actually dare to attack and kill a celestial soldier. One had to know that this was against the heavenly rules. Only death awaited those who violated the heavenly rules. Lu Ming actually dared to do this? He actually dared to do this? Where did he get the courage from? Xiao Niu's face changed. The faces of the other heavenly soldiers beside him also changed. They all turned pale. You dare. Xiao Niu stared at Lu Ming, and his face was covered in cold sweat. His body trembled slightly, and there was no longer the domineering and confident look in his eyes. There was only fear. What responded to him was a strand of golden sword chi. Whoosh. Next to Xiao Niu, a few more heavenly soldiers were killed on the spot. Do you think I dare or not? Lu Ming said coldly. Thump, thump. Next to Xiao Niu, a few heavenly soldiers directly knelt on the ground and cried in a shrill voice. Captain Mu Yun, please have mercy. We're willing to hand over all the demon spirit blood. We're willing to hand over all the demon spirit blood. Please spare our lives. They were scared. They were really scared. Previously, they had relied on the heavenly rules to act unscrupulously, and they were sure that Lu Ming would not dare to do anything to them. They never expected that Lu Ming would be so bold and lawless. He was a demon. No, he was even more terrifying than a demon. He actually disregarded the heavenly rules and attacked them directly. This kind of person was too scary. Xiao Niu's body trembled even more, and he almost knelt down. Fear and regret. Now, he regretted it. If he had known that Lu Ming was so lawless, he would never have snatched the spoils from Lu Ming. Mu Yun, it's a misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding. I was just helping you collect the demon spirit blood so that you would have time to hunt demons. Since you're almost done hunting, I'll give you the demon spirit blood now. Xiaoniu hurriedly said. Oh, that's not what you said just now. Lu Ming said lightly. I was wrong just now. I was blinded by lard. You're a great person and don't hold a grudge against me. Please don't take it to heart. Xiaoniu shouted. In order to survive, he was going all out. He did not care about his reputation anymore. A man knew when to yield and when not to yield. As long as he was alive, he must report Lu Ming killing the heavenly soldiers and let Lu Ming die without a burial place. I gave you a chance just now, but you didn't know how to cherish it. Do you really think I'm that easy to talk to? Lu Ming said coldly. Since he had already attacked, he had no intention of letting Xiaoniu go. At this moment, Xiaoniu suddenly moved. He erupted with all his strength and grabbed a few heavenly soldiers beside him. He grabbed them and threw them to Lu Ming. Then, he retreated physically and mentally, trying to escape. However, Lu Ming had been watching Xiaoniu for a long time. How could he escape? Swoosh, swoosh. In the void, streaks of golden sword light condensed and attacked Xiaoniu and the others. The golden sword light dispersed. Although its power was much weaker, it was more than enough to deal with Xiaoniu and the others. The heavenly soldiers were pierced by the sword qi and killed on the spot. Ah! Mu Yun, you'll die a horrible death. You'll die a horrible death. Xiaoniu shouted crazily. At the same time, he used all his strength to resist. Xiaoniu had the strength of the 9th godly emperor layer, but he could not use his second-class heavenly soldier armor. He could not resist the golden sword light at all. Poof! The golden sword light pierced through Xiaoniu's forehead. With a plop, Xiaoniu's corpse fell to the ground. There was no trace of qi left. At this point, all the heavenly soldiers who had tried to steal the demon's spirit blood had been killed by Lu Ming. Lu Ming's team members looked very grave. After all, killing so many heavenly soldiers was against the rules of the heavens. They were very nervous. However, there were people who were more nervous than them. They were the other team members, including Xiaoniu and the others who had not tried to steal the demon's spirit blood. They were afraid that Lu Ming would kill them to silence them. The people of the other team had secretly activated their battle formation. After all, only a battle formation could compete with Lu Ming's battle formation. Chapter 40-45. However, although the other team operated the battle formation, they were not confident. Even if it was the same battle formation, it depended on the strength of the operator. The stronger the operator, the stronger the power. Moreover, they had gone through a fierce battle before and had not recovered at all. Even if they operated the battle formation, they were probably no match for Lu Ming and the others. The remaining members of Xiaoniu's team looked even worse. Cold sweat oozed from their faces and they quietly retreated. You'd better stay. Lu Ming looked at these people coldly. They immediately stopped and did not dare to move. Captain Mu, do you really want to kill us? Another captain asked. No, I don't want to kill you, and I don't kill innocent people. However, if we let you leave and spread what happened today, we will definitely be punished by the heavenly law. Lu Ming said. The eyes of Lu Ming's team members were filled with murderous intent. Although Lu Ming said that he would take responsibility for everything, they had used a battle formation to kill Xiaoniu and the others. Once the Heavenly Palace investigated, they would not be able to absolve themselves from the blame and could not stay out of it. We can swear on our life origin that we will never reveal what happened today. Another captain said. Yes, we swear on our life origin. The others also shouted. Okay, how about this? You swear on your life origin that if you reveal what happened today, you will immediately be attacked by the inner demons and your souls will be annihilated. Lu Ming said. Everyone's face changed slightly. This oath was extremely heavy. If it was leaked, they would probably be killed immediately. However, in this situation they could only swear. Immediately, the people of the other team and the people left by Xiaoniu all swore on their life origin. Now, can we go? After taking the oath, the team leader looked at Lu Ming cautiously. Of course, please go ahead. Lu Ming smiled. As soon as Lu Ming finished his words, those people moved one after another and left the place. All of a sudden, only Lu Ming's team was left. Everyone, I think we also need to swear on our life origin. It's not that we don't trust you. After all, this matter concerns our lives. Lu Ming's gaze swept across all the team members. Yes, Captain, I think so too. Yes, to be safe, let's swear. Lu Ming's team members all agreed. Now they were in the same boat. If anyone leaked it out, they would die. Naturally, they all agreed to swear together. Immediately, Lu Ming was the first to swear, and then the others followed. After everyone had sworn their oaths, Lu Ming smiled and said, "Everyone is my brothers who have gone through life and death with me. We will share our blessings in the future. Now, let's start collecting the evil demon's spirit blood. When we return, we will distribute it according to your contributions." Absolutely. It's so cool to follow Captain Yun. Speaking of the evil spirit blood, everyone's mood was lifted again. They then started to collect the evil spirit blood one by one. The evil spirit blood on Xiaoniu and the others was naturally collected by Lu Ming and the others. They became free labor and lost their lives. After putting away all of the Abyss Devil's spirit blood, they burned the corpses of Xiaoniu and the others to ashes. After all, Xiaoniu and the others were killed by their battle formation. If the big shots of the Heavenly Palace came to check, they would most likely find out. Therefore, destroying the bodies was the right way to go. Anyway, after the people of the Heavenly Palace were killed by the evil spirit blood, they would become the evil spirit blood's food. Only a few of them would have an intact corpse. After everything was done, Lu Ming and the others left. However, they had no plans to return to Nantian City for the time being. Previously, at least half of the evil spirits had escaped and were scattered all over the 8 Snake Mountains. Now, these evil spirits were like lambs waiting to be slaughtered. It would be a pity if they didn't deal with them. With Dandan around, it was not difficult to find these evil spirits. For the next period of time, they hunted evil spirits in the 8 Snake Mountains. With Dandan around, these evil spirits could be found and killed even if they hid underground. A month later, Lu Ming and the others returned to Nantian City with a full harvest. Sure enough, after they returned to Nantian City, the higher-ups of the Heavenly Palace did not find trouble with them. Obviously, the news of them killing Xiaoniu and the others was not leaked. In fact, it was normal for some heavenly soldiers to die in the battle with the evil spirits. However, they had lost too many heavenly soldiers in the 8 Snake Mountains this time. Therefore, there were still people who asked Lu Ming and the others about the process of the 8 Snake Mountains. They all told the truth. Of course, they would not say that they killed Xiaoniu and the others. They only said that Xiaoniu and the others were killed in the battle with the evil spirits. Anyway, in the 8 Snake Demons Mountains, the number of heavenly soldiers killed by the evil spirits was not small. I didn't expect that a demon emperor would be born in the 8 Snake Demons Mountains. It's our negligence. Mu Yun, you did well. The heavenly generals blamed themselves a little and then praised Lu Ming. This matter was over just like that. After that, Lu Ming's team distributed the evil spirit blood according to the rules of the Heavenly Palace. Everyone had a good harvest and were all smiles. In Nantian City, they could not exchange the evil spirit blood for merit points. Only when they returned to Dream Sky City and went to the Well of Merit could they exchange it for merit points. However, as long as they had the evil spirit blood, wouldn't it be a matter of time before they could exchange it for merit points? On the other side of the city wall, in a large hall, some people were discussing. These people were all experts of the angel tribe. That Mu Yun is finally going to go out to hunt evil spirits. His time of death has come. A male angel said coldly. He was Lafitte. Previously, he went to the 2nd grade area, 8 Snake Mountains. I received news that next time, he should go to the 3rd grade area, Constellation Demon Island. Another angel said. Well then, Constellation Demon Island will be his time of death. Lafitte said coldly. During this period, they did not give up on dealing with Lu Ming. It was just that when they were in Dream Sky City, due to the heavenly rules, they could not make a move. But here, they were going out to hunt evil spirits. This was their opportunity. How do we do it? Do we do it directly? If the news leaks out, it will be bad for us. After all, it's against the heavenly rules. Another young angel said. In the dark universe, there are many people who violate the heavenly rules and kill people. As long as there is no evidence, the higher-ups will turn a blind eye. Lafitte said. Indeed, these heavenly soldiers came from different races. It was normal for them to have grudges with each other. Although there were heavenly rules, killing each other secretly was unavoidable. Chapter 40-46. Therefore, as long as it didn't happen in Dreamsky City or Nantion City, and didn't leave any obvious evidence, the higher-ups of the heavenly palace would turn a blind eye. As long as they did it cleanly, nothing would happen. That being said, there's a better way. Why not use it? One of the female angels said. You mean, the spirits of Nether? Raphael said. That's right. The female angel nodded. That's good. It'll save us a lot of trouble if the spirits of Nether do it. Raphael nodded. The spirits of Nether was a powerful race on the Eldritch Universe's 10,000 races list. This race was notorious in the Eldritch Universe because they loved to assassinate. And their success rate was extremely high. Every member of this race was a top-notch assassin. Many races in the universe wanted to destroy the spirits of Nether, but the spirits of Nether had the backing of the demons, one of the top 10 races. And there were rumors that many spirits of Nether were secretly working for the Heavenly Palace. So even though many races wanted to destroy the spirits of Nether, they didn't have the guts to do so. Finding the spirits of Nether to kill Lu Ming was a good idea. The angels discussed for a while, and then Raphael set off with a few people. In a very remote building in Nantion City, Raphael met an elder of the spirits of Nether. The old man's eyes were filled with a cold aura and killing intent. Angels, it's rare to see you here. What's the matter? The elder of the spirits of Nether said. His voice was cold and creepy. I'm here to kill someone. Raphael said. Oh, who? The elder of the spirits of Nether asked. On the 33rd wall, a second-class heavenly soldier named Mu Yun. Raphael said. A second-class heavenly soldier must be the captain. He has his own team and can form a battle formation. He's not easy to deal with. The elder of the spirits of Nether frowned. A battle formation formed by a team was extremely powerful. If one wanted to kill such a person, they would have to send out an emperor god. However, in Nantion City, god emperors had god emperors' missions. Furthermore, god emperors usually went to high-level areas. The chances of them being in the same area as a second-class heavenly soldier were too low. You don't have to worry about the other party's battle formation. We already have a way to deal with it. We just need to bribe one of their members. When the time comes, as long as one person doesn't cooperate, it will be very difficult for their battle formation to succeed. Rafid said. The spirit of Nine Elder fell into deep thought. After thinking for a while, he said, Do you have any detailed information about Mu Yun? Let me see it. Of course. Lafitte nodded. A jade talisman appeared in his hand, and he passed it to the spirit of Een Clan's old man. The angels were already prepared. They had collected Lu Ming's information in a very comprehensive manner. The spirit of Nine old man took it and scanned it with his spiritual sense. His expression immediately changed. This is a peerless monster who controls 2 great killing weapons. His strength is astonishing, and he also has a second-class celestial soldier armor. This kind of person is extremely difficult to kill. The spirit of Nine old man said. Lafitte snorted coldly in his heart. He knew that the spirit of Nine old man was making all sorts of excuses because he wanted a higher price. His great killing weapons and second-class celestial soldier armor are easy to deal with. We will provide the forbidden weapon domain seal. It can make his great killing weapons and second-class celestial soldier armor ineffective. At that time, he will be a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. Lafitte said. You are actually willing to take out the forbidden weapon domain seal. I really don't know how Mu Yun offended you. Hee hee. The spirit of Nine old man laughed a few times, and a hint of surprise appeared on his face. All right, are you going to take it or not? If not, we will have to find someone else. Lafitte said. Of course we will take it. A voice sounded. The one who spoke was not the spirit of Nine old man, but another person. Unknowingly, a young man had appeared in the room. It was a young spirit of Nine. The pupils of Lafitte and the others shrank rapidly. They did not notice when this young spirit of Nine came in. And Xing, you are in Xing. You have also come to Nantion City? Then, Lafitte seemed to recognize the young spirit of Nine and cried out in surprise. This young man was called Xing, and he was a very famous genius. This was because this person was also a candidate for the Universe Genius list. Although he was still young, his strength was extremely powerful and strange. Let me see. And Xing stretched out his hand and grabbed the jade talisman in the spirit of 9 old man's hand. He scanned it with his spiritual sense and an interested expression appeared on his face. A peerless monster. Good, very good. I love to kill monsters the most in my life. I will accept this mission. Leave the forbidden weapon domain seal behind. And Xing said, all right. Lafit nodded and revealed a happy expression. With the help of the Dark Star, Lu Ming had no other choice but to die. However, don't be careless. Other than Mu Yun, he has a few companions beside him. They are also very strong. One is the genius of the world divine turtle race, and the other is the elf princess Ling Yue. Lafit also introduced Dandan and Ling Yue in detail. Don't worry about this. We have our own ways. They are going to the Star Devil Island next, right? The 55th city wall I am on is not going to the Star Devil Island. I will need your angel race to do something about this. And Xing said, don't worry about this. We will arrange it. We have provided so much. I hope you can succeed in one go, Lafit said. In order to kill Lu Ming, they had spent a lot of money. They had even taken out the forbidden weapon domain seal. However, Lu Ming had a great killing weapon and a second-class heavenly soldier battle armor on him. There was nothing they could do about it. Both sides hit it off immediately. After discussing the details, Lafit left. A peerless monster? Hee, become my stepping stone, become my Een spirit killer. And Xing sneered, his eyes filled with anticipation. Lu Ming and the others returned to Nantian City. After resting for about 7 days, they received a new order. This time, their target was the 3rd grade area, the Star Devil Island. The Star Devil Island was a 3rd grade area. Naturally, it was much more dangerous than the 2nd grade area. Therefore, all the members of the 33rd City Wall were mobilized. In addition, the experts of the other sections of the City Wall were also mobilized. Furthermore, the first-class Heavenly Soldier Commandant of each section of the City Wall would personally head over to hold the line. Most of those who could become first-class Heavenly Soldiers were experts in the Divine Lord Realm. Of course, there were also some who didn't have the cultivation of the Divine Lord Realm but had accumulated merit points. However, there were only a few of them, and all of them were top-notch monsters. The first-class Heavenly Soldier Lu Danning of the 33rd City Wall was a Divine Lord Realm expert. In the 3rd grade area, there were Devil Lord Realm demons. Therefore, the purpose of these Divine Lords was to deal with these Devil Lords. As for the demons below the Devil Lord Realm, they would be left to Lu Ming and the others. Chapter 40-47. The Astral Demon Island was a 3rd level area. It was extremely dangerous. There were countless demons of the 7th Godly Emperor layer and above. There were many more demons than the 8 Snakes Mountain range. Besides, the terrain of the Astral Demon Island was completely different from the 8 Snakes Mountain range. This was a vast and boundless lake. In the middle of the lake there were many islands. They were like stars in the universe, which was why it was called the Astral Devil Island. On that day, a large number of celestial soldiers arrived at the outskirts of the Astral Demon Island. From afar, they couldn't see the end of the island. It was too vast. Lu Ming and the others were among the group of celestial soldiers. The people of the 33rd City Wall were all there. Not only the 33rd City Wall, there were also many people from the other city walls. When you enter the Astral Demon Island, you have to be careful. You have to form a battle formation. Besides, the demons of the 3rd level area are different from those of the 2nd level area. Some demons can't be judged by their cultivation level. Some demons are extremely strong. For example, some demons have the cultivation level of the 9th Godly Emperor layer, but they are much stronger than ordinary demons of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. Lu Danning warned them seriously. Everyone nodded and remembered Lu Danning's words. Let's go. A tall and sturdy man spoke. This person was the captain of another section of the city wall. He was a first-rate heavenly soldier and also a divine emperor expert. Let's go. The other captains nodded. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Their silhouettes flickered and they disappeared. They were heading towards the depths of the Astral Demon Island. Godly emperors had tasks for them. They had to eliminate the godly emperors of the Astral Demon Island. Let's go. Kill our way in and obtain the blood of the demons. The moment the various first-rate celestial soldiers left, The captains of the various sections of the city wall gave their orders one after another. They led their respective teams and charged towards the constellation Devil Island, disappearing into the vast constellation Devil Island. Lu Ming led his troops and rushed towards the astral demon island. After entering the starry Devil Island, all of them split up. Each of the captains led a group and flew off in different directions. The astral demon island was extremely vast. They weren't afraid of stealing other people's demons. Swoosh, swoosh. Lu Ming and the others were extremely fast. Not long after, an island appeared in front of them. If there was an island, there would usually be demons. They rushed towards the island. Bang bang bang. They had yet to reach the island when the lake water below exploded continuously. A large group of demons dashed out of the lake and charged toward Lu Ming and the rest. Kill. Kill these heavenly palace people. Demonic chi soared to the sky, and demonic sabers, demonic swords, demonic claws, demonic lights, and the like covered the sky as they rushed towards Lu Ming and the others. Battle formation. Lu Ming shouted. Fortunately, when they were flying earlier, the team was not in disarray. They were arranged according to the battle formation. At this moment, they could activate the battle formation in an instant. Following Lu Ming's shout, the battle formation was activated. Golden rays of light flashed out and transformed into a golden light shield, enveloping Lu Ming and the others. Boom, boom. With a series of explosions, the attacks of these demons were all blocked by the light barrier. So many strong demons, at least 30 demons of the 9th godly emperor layer. Lu Ming's heart was pounding. As soon as the demons attacked, he could roughly sense their cultivation level. There were at least 30 demons of the 9th godly emperor layer, hundreds of demons of the 8th and 7th godly emperor layer, and more than 3,000 demons of the 7th godly emperor layer. No wonder they were in the 3rd level area. This was only an island in the periphery of the constellation Demon Island, and surprisingly, there were so many strong cultivators. One could imagine how many strong demons were gathered on the constellation Demon Island. It was difficult to count the number of demons of the 9th godly emperor layer. However, these demons were no match for them at all. Needless to say, they had a combat formation. Even if they did not, Lu Ming could kill all these demons alone. Dang! Shouted Lu Ming extremely loudly. Golden lights turned into a golden battle sword and swept across the sky. Slash! Blood splashed on the surface of the lake. In a flash, over 100 demons had been killed. Dang! Dang! Shouted Lu Ming extremely loudly. Golden sword lights flashed, and the demons couldn't compete with him. Their corpses fell like raindrops on the surface of the lake. They're too strong. Hurry up and retreat. Let's go. The remaining demons panicked. They retreated frantically, wanting to escape. However, Lu Ming and the rest were in hot pursuit. After a round of fierce killing, at least 70% of the demons were killed. The remaining demons fled in all directions. Collect the demon's spirit blood. Don't panic, ordered Lu Ming. In this place, they had to maintain a battle formation at all times. Otherwise, it would be dangerous. They started collecting the demon's spirit blood while maintaining a battle formation. At that moment, Lu Ming saw a large number of demons fly out of the island, but they weren't flying towards them. They were flying towards the depths of the constellation Demon Island. Obviously, those demons had been waiting to ambush them. When they realized that they couldn't compete with Lu Ming and the others, they started retreating. Lu Ming and the others didn't chase them. They continued collecting the demon's spirit blood. After a short time, they collected all the demon's spirit blood and flew towards the island. When they arrived, they didn't see any demons. All the demons had retreated, leaving behind an empty island. We've been discovered by the demons. Next we have to be careful, Lu Ming warned. Then they continued forward. Not long after, they saw another demon island. When they carefully approached it, they realized that this demon island was still empty and the demons had retreated. It seems that the demons have retreated to the depths, Ling Yue said. Perhaps they've retreated to a bigger island to meet up with the other demons to deal with us. Lu Ming added. This was normal. If he were in their shoes, he would do the same. Next, they continued forward. They passed by several islands in a row, but they didn't find any traces of the demons. Finally, after passing by 6 islands in a row, they found the 7th island. This island was very large. Its area was probably even larger than the previous 6 islands combined. And this island had demons. The heavenly palace's bastards are here. Set up the 10,000 demons god slaughtering formation. On the island in front, roars could be heard. Then, demonic energy soared into the sky, and demonic shadows appeared in the demonic energy. So many demons! Someone in Lu Ming's team exclaimed. It seems that the demons on the previous 6 islands have all retreated to this island. Another person said. As for Lu Ming, Dandan, and Ling Yue, they looked at each other. It was the 10,000 demon god slaughtering array again. The 3 of them muttered in their hearts. Let's take a closer look. Lu Ming ordered. Chapter 40-48. Lu Ming and the rest approached the island and discovered that there were many devil figures on the island. Their devil chi towered up into the sky, and experts were as common as the clouds. It was unknown how many powerful devils there were. These devils laid down the myriad devil gods slaughtering grand formation, forming several gigantic devil figures that stood in the 4 corners of the island. The people from the desolate universe are here. Kill them. Kill. When Lu Ming and the rest approached, the devils on the island discovered Lu Ming. All of them roared and controlled the myriad devil gods slaughtering grand formation to attack Lu Ming and the rest. Swish, a gigantic devil figure wielding a devil's saber slashed down at Lu Ming, exuding towering devil might. Retreat! Lu Ming immediately gave the order and they quickly retreated to the back to avoid this attack. The space trembled as another powerful devil figure rushed towards Lu Ming and the rest. Lu Ming and the rest retreated again, increasing the distance between them. The devils no longer pursued them and retreated back to the island. Dandan, I'll leave this to you. Lu Ming spoke to Dandan. No problem. Dandan laughed. His figure flickered in the air as he started to set up the formation. He had already broken the myriad devil god slaughtering grand formation a few times and could be considered familiar with it. The speed at which he set it up was extremely fast. Not long after, Dandan's figure returned. Done. Dandan laughed confidently. Brothers and sisters, let's kill the devils. Lu Ming spoke. Ha ha ha, kill the devils. Kill. Lu Ming's group members all cheered loudly. They also knew that Dandan's Tao of formations was extremely strong. Previously, he had broken the myriad devil god slaughtering grand formation. Hence, they were extremely confident this time around. They formed a battle formation and rushed towards the island again. On the island, the myriad devil god slaughtering grand formation was activated. Several gigantic devil figures rushed towards Lu Ming and the rest. Rise! At that moment, Dandan attacked. Runes filled the sky, forming a huge battle. Countless runes filled the void, causing the fiend devil's myriad devil god slaughtering grand formation to tremble, revealing a flaw. According to Dandan's instructions, Lu Ming and the others launched an attack. The golden sword light slashed at a huge demonic shadow. With a deafening boom, the demonic shadow was disintegrated. Many abyss devils had perished inside. Lu Ming and the others didn't stop there. They continued to operate the formation and charged towards the second gigantic demonic shadow. The second gigantic demonic shadow also couldn't escape the fate of being defeated. Bang! Bang! Following a series of explosions, the remaining gigantic demonic shadows were blown apart one after another. The 10,000 demons god slaughtering array was broken. Without the 10,000 demons god slaughtering grand formation, these abyss devils weren't a match for Lu Ming and the others. They were killed by Lu Ming and the others as if they were vegetables. Their corpses fell into the lake like raindrops. Just as Lu Ming and the others were hunting the abyss devils, there were a few cold eyes staring at Lu Ming and the others in the dark. One of them was the peerless monster of the spirits of Yin and Xing. The others were also experts of the spirits of Yin. They can actually break the myriad devil god slaughtering grand formation of the abyss devils. One of the spirits of Yin let out a shocked voice. However, it was a voice transmission and didn't spread out. It's that world's divine turtle. That should be a rare monster among the divine turtles of the world. His attainments in runic formations are actually so strong. Interesting, interesting. Remember, we have to keep this world's divine turtle for us to use. Also, that elf princess Ling Yue is quite strong. Don't kill her. I want to keep her by my side and make her my plaything. And Xing opened his mouth, his eyes burning with passion. He didn't want to kill Dandan and Ling Yue. Needless to say, Ling Yue's strength and appearance moved his heart. And Dandan's attainments in runic formations also moved his heart. If they could bring Dandan with them, then the speed of hunting abyss devils in this dark universe would be at least 10 times faster. With Dandan, they wouldn't have to be afraid of the 10,000 demons god slaughtering grand formation of the abyss devils or other great formations. Hunting abyss devils represented merit points. Merit points represented treasures and strength. I didn't expect that I would make such a discovery on this trip to kill Mu Yun. Not bad, not bad. And Xing was very satisfied. However, he didn't plan to make a move now. If they made a move now, even if they could kill Lu Ming and the others, they themselves would become the target of the abyss devils. They had to wait until there were no abyss devils before making a move. The more abyss devils you kill, the better. In any case, these spoils of war will be mine sooner or later. Dark Star sneered. The hunt continued. Very quickly, more than half of the abyss devils on the island were killed by Lu Ming and the others. The rest scattered and fled in all directions. Then, Lu Ming and the others began to collect the abyss devil's spirit blood. While collecting the abyss devil's spirit blood, they maintained their formation and were on guard against any sneak attacks from the abyss devils. However, all the abyss devils here had escaped. Even when they were about to finish collecting the abyss devil's spirit blood, no abyss devils had attacked them. At this moment, "Who is it?" Lu Ming suddenly shouted coldly as he stared in a certain direction. His eyes were bright and filled with killing intent. The other members of Lu Ming's team looked in that direction curiously, because there was nothing there. What did Lu Ming discover? "If you don't come out, don't blame me for making a move." Lu Ming shouted coldly again. It wasn't that Lu Ming had discovered something, but that the Bone Devil had discovered something. Just now, the Bone Devil had told Lu Ming that there should be a creature hiding in that direction, spying on them. Lu Ming didn't discover it himself, but he naturally didn't doubt the Bone Devil, so he immediately reprimanded the Bone Devil. There was a ripple in that place, and then, 3 figures suddenly appeared. "I didn't expect your spiritual sense to be so sharp that you could discover our existence. You're really amazing," a young man said coldly. These 3 people were naturally the 3 spirits of Een experts, including Dark Star. The one who spoke was Dark Star. At this moment, there was some surprise in Dark Star's eyes. There was almost no race in the entire primitive universe that could compare with their concealment skills. Logically speaking, Lu Ming and the others shouldn't have discovered them. However, the fact was that Lu Ming had discovered them. What a wonderful concealment skill. Lu Ming's pupils shrank slightly. He was also very shocked, because he didn't discover it at all. If it wasn't for the Bone Devil, he wouldn't have known that there were experts hiding behind him. This was a very dangerous sign. "You are from the spirits of Een race." At this moment, Ling Yue opened her mouth, her eyes filled with fear. Spirits of Een race. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed slightly. The spirits of Een race was a notorious race in the universe. He had naturally heard of it before. They aren't moving as a team, but as a few people. There's only one explanation for this situation, and that is, they want to assassinate someone. Their target is most likely us. Dandan also spoke. Chapter 40-49. Hee, you guys guessed right. Our target is you guys. Dark Star smiled and directly admitted it, appearing very confident. "We are all heavenly soldiers. If you Een spirits want to assassinate us, this is against the rules of the heavens." Ling Yue shouted. "As long as you all die, who knows how you died? Dying at the hands of demons is too normal." Dark Star sneered. Then, a sword appeared in his hand. This sword was very strange. It was as if it had no color, as if it was transparent. It was a transparent sword, but it emitted a terrifying aura. This was a great killing weapon. It was a top-notch weapon of mass destruction. "Kill!" Dark Star shouted coldly and stabbed out with his sword. At this moment, the entire world seemed to have quieted down. Even the surging lake had calmed down. In the world, there was only a terrifying invisible sword shadow that charged towards Lu Ming. "Battle formation!" Lu Ming shouted, wanting to activate the battle formation to deal with Dark Star. However, just as he was activating the battle formation, Lu Ming discovered that the battle formation was not operating smoothly. Just as the golden sword light was about to condense, it collapsed with a loud bang. "This is bad." The expressions of Lu Ming, Dandan, and the others changed drastically. At this time, there was actually a problem with the battle formation. At this time, Lu Ming wanted to take out the Zephyr Pearl and the Ice Shen Rod to block, but it was already too late. It was already too late. At the critical moment, Lu Ming could only activate the Heavenly Soldier battle armor on his body. Bang! The Heavenly Soldier battle armor lit up and a layer of light floated out. Just as the light barrier appeared, the sword light had already slashed onto the light barrier. With a bang, the light barrier shook and successfully blocked the sword light. A second-tier Heavenly Soldier battle armor could block the full-strength attack of a first-level Divine Emperor. Although the power of Dark Star's sword was extremely strong, it had not reached the attack power of a Divine Emperor. After blocking this sword, the Zephyr Pearl and the Ice Shen Rod appeared in Lu Ming's hands at the same time. As for Ling Yue, a bloodied Elven King Bao also appeared in her hands. "You traitor!" Dandan roared angrily. Lu Ming's gaze also swept over. A figure broke away from Lu Ming's group and rushed towards Dark Star's group. Traitor! Needless to say, everyone understood that there was a traitor among them. That was why the battle formation didn't operate smoothly and didn't operate successfully. The battle formation of the Heavenly Palace was complementary to each other. It required 50 people to work together to activate it successfully. If one person did not cooperate, or if one person was missing, it would be difficult for the battle formation to operate successfully. This was also the weakness of this battle formation. Once it was activated, its power would be extremely great. However, if one of them died, the battle formation would not be able to be activated. They were all interconnected, and not a single one could be missing. This was also why Lu Danning had repeatedly warned them not to split up and to maintain their formation. It was a young man who had seemed very honest and had always followed Lu Ming's lead. Who would have thought that he would betray Lu Ming at the critical moment? Soon, the young man came to Dark Star's side and heaved a sigh of relief. During this period of time, he knew how terrifying Lu Ming's group was. However, when he came to Dark Star's side, he finally felt at ease. "Well done." Dark Star smiled at the young man. "Thank you for your praise, young Master Dark Star. This is what I should do." The young man nodded and bowed with a flattering look. Dark Star nodded. Suddenly, the sword in his hand shot out and pierced toward the young man. The young man did not expect Dark Star to suddenly attack him. He couldn't dodge at all. With a puff, his glabella was pierced by the sword and his soul was instantly annihilated. You. The young man instinctively widened his eyes and stared at Dark Star in disbelief. Clearly, he did not expect Dark Star to suddenly attack and kill him. "I've always believed that only a dead person is the safest. As long as you're dead, his battle formation will definitely be broken. Also, if you're dead, the news won't be leaked. Rest in peace," Dark Star said coldly. With a splash, the young man's corpse fell into the lake. From the beginning, Lu Ming's eyes were cold. He did not have the slightest bit of sympathy for a traitor who had been killed. "I really want to know, who sent you to kill me?" Lu Ming asked. "You don't need to know that," Dark Star said. "Even if you don't say it, I can guess. It must be the Angel Clan, right?" Lu Ming said, his eyes fixed on the Dark Star. Dark Star's eyes flickered slightly. Lu Ming knew that he had guessed correctly. His team member had obviously been bribed by the Angel Clan. "Even if you have guessed correctly, so what? Today you are doomed," Dark Star said coldly. His murderous intent was getting stronger and stronger. The other two spirits of Een Clan's experts were also releasing murderous intent. "Do you think that you can kill me?" Lu Ming said coldly. He could already see that Dark Star's cultivation level was at the 4th Divine Emperor layer. The other two spirits of Een Clan's experts were at the 6th Divine Emperor layer. With such cultivation level, even if they were peerless geniuses, Lu Ming would not be afraid. "The three of you want to kill us? You're really courting death," Dandan shouted furiously. His eyes were filled with hostility. "Is that so?" Dark Star sneered and a talisman appeared in his hand. Bang! And Xing crushed the seal in his hand. Then, an invisible ripple spread out. In an instant, an area of 100,000 miles was enveloped by this invisible ripple. "That's the Forbidden Weapon Domain Talisman." Ling Yue's expression changed drastically. "It's the Forbidden Weapon Domain Talisman." Lu Ming's expression also changed. He immediately activated the Zephyr Bead, but he realized that the connection between him and the Zephyr Bead had been cut off. He could not draw out the Zephyr Bead. Then he tried to control the Ice Shen Rod, but there was no movement from the Ice Shen Rod, as if it was also blocked by some kind of power. Not only that, the second-class heavenly soldier battle armor on his body actually began to shrink, fusing into his body and disappearing. Under the forbidden weapon domain, no divine armament could be controlled. My battle armor. My divine armament can't be used either. The others also cried out in alarm, their expressions ugly. Similarly, Ling Yuwei's blood-stained elven King Bao could not be used either. Mu Yun, your only reliance is the second-class heavenly soldier battle armor and 2 great killing weapons. Now, you can't even use them under the forbidden weapon domain. What else can you rely on? Dark Star sneered. The transparent killing weapon in his hand also disappeared. Under the forbidden weapon domain, our divine armament can't be used, but your divine armament can't be used either. Are you so confident that you can kill me? Lu Ming said. Yes, the forbidden weapon domain did not distinguish between friend and foe. As long as one was within the range of the forbidden weapon domain, no matter which side it was, they would be affected and unable to use their divine armament. Chapter 40-50. Without the ultimate weapon, it's more than enough for me to kill you, and Xing said indifferently, revealing his strong confidence. He clenched his fist and condensed his divine force into a long sword. Sharp sword chi whizzed out and cut the space apart. I'll leave the rest to you. I'll kill Mu Yun myself. And Xing instructed the other 2 spirits of Yin experts. As soon as his voice fell, his figure disappeared from the spot. In the next moment, he appeared not far away from Lu Ming and stabbed his sword towards Lu Ming's glabella. Without the ultimate weapon, you'll be the one to die. Lu Ming snorted coldly. His figure flashed and disappeared from the spot. He appeared on the right side of Xing and slashed his palm down like a knife. However, Xing quickly changed his move. The sword gleam pierced to the right in an instant and collided with Lu Ming's palm. There was a loud bang and the force spread in all directions. Both of them retreated at the same time. What a strong force. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed slightly. This Xing's strength was really strong. Lu Ming estimated that Xing should have the strength to fight someone who was 4 levels higher than him in the Divine Emperor realm. No wonder this person was so confident that he could kill Lu Ming without the ultimate weapon. After all, his cultivation level was 1 level higher than Lu Ming's. Your strength. What Xing didn't know was that he was even more shocked. His strength was 1 level higher than Lu Ming. His move just now was actually a draw with Lu Ming. Didn't that mean that Lu Ming could fight someone who was 5 levels higher than him? How could he be so strong? Interesting, really interesting. I haven't killed such a monster before. Mu Yun, I'll definitely kill you. In the next moment, Xing's eyes were filled with madness. He roared, Spirit of Yin Assassin, come out. Bas. Dark Star's body emitted a strong wave of energy. Black doors of light flickered. Following that, a few figures flashed out from the light. There were a total of 7 figures. However, these 7 figures weren't from the same clan. They seemed to be from 7 different clans. They looked very young and lifelike. One of them was actually from the Elf clan. Ling Hai, so Ling Hai was killed by you. Ling Yuwei shouted, her figure revealing a look of anger. Ling Hai used to be a top genius of the Elf clan. He was able to fight someone who was 3 levels above him in the Divine Emperor realm. His future was limitless. However, a few hundred years ago, when Ling Hai went out to train, he disappeared without a trace. From the looks of it, Ling Hai had died in the hands of Dark Star. Ha ha ha, that's right. Ling Hai did die in my hands and became one of my Yin Spirit Assassins. The rest of you are also qualified to become my Yin Spirit Assassins. Especially you, Mu Yun. It's your honor to become my Yin Spirit Assassin and fight for me. Xing laughed maniacally. At the same time, the 7 figures all rushed toward Lu Ming, wanting to kill Lu Ming. The Nether Spirit Assassin that he cultivated required extremely powerful geniuses. This was because the Nether Spirit Assassin could grow with him. The more talented the Nether Spirit Assassin was, the faster it would grow and the stronger it would be. Lu Ming was too suitable. A look of disgust appeared in Lu Ming's eyes. He had already seen through Xing's cultivation method. It was incomparably cruel and disgusting. Battle Character Art. 6 times Battle Strength. At this moment, Lu Ming activated the Battle Character Art to increase his battle strength by 6 times. His entire body emitted a hazy light as he activated all kinds of secret techniques in his cells.
With a wave of his hand, 7 demonic swords formed and charged toward the 7 Een spirit assassins.
It was the great demonic sword technique. At the same time, Lu Ming charged toward Xing. At this moment, Lu Ming pushed his battle strength to the limit. Come, sinister 18 kills. Xing roared and also burst out with his full strength. He charged toward Lu Ming. Sword shadows crisscrossed, cutting out terrifying sword scars in the void. Boom, 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 boom. The two of them continuously collided and launched an intense battle. For a moment, there was no clear victor. Xing indeed had the qualifications to be arrogant. At this moment, he had burst out with his full strength, and his battle strength had actually increased by a level. Lu Ming estimated that even if Xing didn't have the strength to fight across 5 levels, he still had the strength to fight across 4.5 levels. As for Lu Ming, when he used his full strength, he could fight across 5.5 levels. Lu Ming's cultivation just happened to be 1 level lower than his opponent's, so the two of them actually fought to a draw.
While the two of them were fighting, the other 2 Een spirit race experts also charged toward Ling Yue, Dandan, and the others.
Kill! Ling Yue shouted as a towering tree appeared behind her. A battle bow also appeared in her hand. This wasn't a divine weapon, but her origin secret technique. Swoosh! An arrow pierced through the air and shot toward one of the Een spirit race experts. Clang! The arrow collided with the sword of the Een spirit race expert. The sword in the Een spirit race expert's hand trembled incessantly, and his pouncing figure also stopped. The Een spirit race expert revealed a look of shock. His attack had actually been blocked by Ling Yue.
One had to know that he had the cultivation of the 6th Divine Emperor layer, and was a top monster. He could fight across 2.5 levels, and killing an existence of the 8th Divine Emperor layer would be easy. And Ling Yue, who was only at the 4th Divine Emperor layer, was actually able to block his attack? Could it be that Ling Yue could fight across 4.5 levels? This was too terrifying. Wasn't this level of monster about the same as in Xing? There weren't many monsters of this level in the entire desolate universe, right? However, while this spirit of 9 Een expert was blocked, the other spirit of 9 Een expert was unstoppable. He charged over, his sword turning into a sword shadow. With a stab, 5 people were pierced through the forehead by the sword chi and died on the spot. Run! The others shouted in fear and turned to run. Without the battle formation, Lu Ming's team members were no match for these Een spirit race assassins. Only Dandan relied on the formation to block this person's attack. You want to leave? You're all going to die. This spirit of Een Yang expert attacked continuously. Sword light flashed, and every time his sword stabbed out, more than 1 person would be killed. In a flash, more than 10 people died at his hands. Spare me, I'm willing to rely on you.
Spare me, I'm willing to cooperate with you to kill Mu Yun. Some people were so scared that they directly begged for mercy, betraying Lu Ming on the spot. These people didn't have any deep friendship with Lu Ming. On one hand, they were under Lu Ming's command because of the Heavenly Palace's arrangement, and on the other hand, they wanted to earn merit points. Now that they were facing a life-and-death crisis, of course, they directly betrayed Lu Ming. Damn traitor! Shouted Dandan furiously. Runes surrounded his body, forming a great formation, blocking the attacks of the Een spirit race expert. At the same time, there were runes constantly filling the air and disappearing into the void. Die for me! The Een spirit race expert didn't intend to let them go at all because the news of them killing Lu Ming and the others couldn't be exposed. Chapter 40-51. From the very beginning, the spirits of Een race had never planned to let Lu Ming's team go. This was because only the dead would not leak the news. For safety's sake, it was best to get rid of all of them. Swoosh, swoosh. Sword shadows tore through the air, each of them emitting a terrifying might. In Lu Ming's team, other than Lu Ming, Ling Yue, and Dandan, no one else was able to block a single move. Every time the sword shadow slashed out, a person would fall. Run! The rest of the people fled in all directions in fear. However, that spirits of Een race expert was shockingly fast. He could barely see him, and only sword light could be seen flashing in the air. Every time it flickered, a person would be killed. At this time, Dandan quickly approached Ling Yue. At the same time, runes were constantly emitting from his body, rushing into the air and disappearing. Ling Yue continued to exchange blows with the spirits of Een race expert. Ling Yue had already shot out 10 arrows,
but they were all blocked by the spirits of Een Race Expert. However, the spirits of Een Race Expert was also unable to do anything to Ling Yue. He was unable to get close to Ling Yue, and the two of them were in a stalemate. "Let me help you," Dandan shouted. With a wave of his hand, countless runes filled the air, transforming into chains that wrapped around the spirits of Een Race Expert. However, the spirits of Een Race Expert was extremely agile. With a continuous flash, he dodged the chains formed by Dandan's formation. At this time, the rest of Lu Ming's team had all been killed, and their corpses fell onto the surface of the lake. After killing these people, the spirits of Een Race Expert returned and joined forces with another spirits of Een Race Expert to attack Ling Yue and Dandan. Great array rise. Densely packed runes appeared in the air as Dandan continued to tap the air. This was the formation he had set up earlier. The more time one spent setting up a formation, the stronger the formation would be. This formation was clearly stronger than the one Dandan had casually set up. Roar, roar, roar. Countless runes interweaved into a large formation, condensing into huge golden crocodiles that pounced towards the two spirits of Een Experts. The attacks of the two spirits of Een Experts were immediately blocked by the golden crocodiles. As for Ling Yue, she would shoot out an arrow from time to time. Each arrow was extremely powerful and could threaten the lives of two spirit of Een Clan Experts. The two spirit of Een Clan Experts had no choice but to focus on dealing with it. In this way, Dandan and Ling Yue were in a stalemate with the two spirit clan experts. On the other side, Lu Ming and In Xing were also in a deadlock. The two of them had already exchanged dozens of blows, but there was still no clear victor. Damn it! Lu Ming watched his own team members being killed one by one. Although they didn't have any friendship with each other, and some of them had even targeted him before, it still made Lu Ming's murderous intent reach its peak. His eyes were also extremely cold. He had to kill Dark Star and the others. Actually, Dark Star and the others were also roaring in their hearts. Obviously, the strength of Lu Ming and the others had completely exceeded their expectations. He didn't expect that after breaking Lu Ming and the others' formation and using the forbidden weapon domain to block Lu Ming and the others' killing weapons, Lu Ming and the others were actually this powerful with just their own strength. Lu Ming's strength had far exceeded his expectations. Dandan and Ling Yue's strength was the same. Originally, he was completely confident, but he didn't expect that there would be a stalemate. Kill, kill, kill. Today we must kill these people. And Xing roared in his heart as he attacked with all his might. However, Lu Ming's strength was astonishing. 3 ancient secret techniques were casually used, and they were incomparably mysterious, completely blocking his attacks. For a moment, it was difficult to determine the victor between the two of them. Lu Ming, can you stall that guy for a while? At this moment, Dandan secretly transmitted his voice to Lu Ming. Lu Ming's gaze moved slightly as he said, "You want to set up a formation? That's right. As long as you give me some time, I will be able to set up a powerful formation. It will be enough for us to escape." Dandan replied with a sound transmission. "No, I want you to set up a formation to trap the enemy. I want all these people to stay here." Lu Ming replied, his voice extremely cold. Are you confident in dealing with that guy? That guy is very troublesome," Dandan said. That guy was naturally referring to Dark Star. "I've already found this guy's flaw," Lu Ming said. "All right, let's do it. Don't worry, I will set up a great formation to trap the enemy," Dandan replied, revealing an excited expression. As he spoke, runes appeared on his skin, pores, and even his mouth and hair. He had already begun to set up a formation. This guy was like the incarnation of runes. His speed of setting up a formation far exceeded that of an ordinary person. "Kill!" Lu Ming shouted as he continued to attack, fighting with Dark Star. As for Ling Yue and Dandan, it was obvious that they had already discussed this beforehand. They were focused on defense and looked as if they couldn't hold on any longer. This way the spirits of Een Race saw hope. "You two, hurry up and deal with that turtle and the elf princess. Right now, I don't want them alive, just kill them. After dealing with them, help me kill Mu Yun." Dark Star sent a sound transmission to the two spirits of Een Race experts. He really had no other choice. Lu Ming's battle prowess had far exceeded his expectations. He realized that he really couldn't deal with Lu Ming by himself. He could only wait for the other two spirits of Een Race experts to deal with Ling Yue and Dandan, and help him deal with Lu Ming together. Don't worry. The two spirits of Een race experts replied as they used all their strength to attack with all their might. However, what made them depressed was that they felt that Dandan and Ling Yue couldn't hold on any longer and were on the verge of collapse. After they attacked with all their might for a period of time, Dandan and Ling Yue were still on the verge of collapse, but they still didn't fall. Time passed bit by bit. In the blink of an eye, Lu Ming and Dark Star had exchanged a few hundred moves. The two monstrous geniuses had exchanged a few hundred moves, causing the world to darken and the sun and moon to lose their light.
Damn it! Dark Star roared. The one who deserves to die is you. Now let's finish you off. At this moment, Lu Ming spoke coldly.
Because just now, Dandan had sent him a sound transmission that the formation had already been set up. Humph, Mu Yun, I admit that you are very strong. Your strength is not weaker than mine, but if you want to kill me, dream on.
Dark Star sneered.
He admitted that he couldn't kill Lu Ming, but it was also impossible for Lu Ming to kill him. He was very confident in this point.
Is that so?
The corner of Lu Ming's mouth curled up into a sneer, and then he suddenly charged towards one of the Een spirit assassins of Dark Star. Previously, the 7 Een spirit assassins of Dark Star had been working together with Dark Star to attack Lu Ming, but they were all blocked by Lu Ming with various methods. At this moment, Lu Ming rushed towards the Een spirit assassin, but the door was wide open.
He's really courting death.
Dark Star's eyes lit up. In his opinion, Lu Ming's move was a stupid move, and he was courting death.
Chapter 4052.
Lu Ming actually rushed towards a nether spirit assassin and exposed a flaw.
He was simply courting death.
And Xing's eyes revealed a ferocious light as he roared, "Die!"
Puff.
The nether spirit assassin had a pitch-black dagger in his hand. The dagger cut through the void and directly pierced towards Lu Ming's dantian.
Puff.
The dagger accurately pierced Lu Ming's dantian and directly pierced a hole through Lu Ming's dantian.
Ha ha ha, let's see how you will die.
And Xing laughed crazily.
Is that so?
At this moment, Lu Ming said coldly. His face was still very calm, as if the person whose dantian was pierced by the dagger wasn't him. The smile on Xing's face disappeared and was replaced by a shocked expression. Just as Xing was about to speak, Lu Ming attacked. He punched out and hit the nether spirit assassin. With a bang, the nether spirit assassin's body directly exploded. Under the effect of the great shattering art and the great divine wind art, it turned into powder. A nether spirit assassin was killed. Damn it, how can you be fine? How can your dantian be fine? And Xing shouted hysterically. That nether spirit assassin had clearly pierced Lu Ming's dantian. One should know that the dantian was a vital point. The star condensed by the divine emperor realm was in the dantian. In his opinion, that move just now could directly shatter the star in Lu Ming's dantian and completely cripple Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming was completely fine. He had defeated his nether spirit assassin in one move. This made him unable to wrap his head around it. Of course, he couldn't figure it out. The forbidden body didn't have its star in the dantian. There was no vital point in the body. Even the head wasn't a vital point. Therefore, even though he had pierced Lu Ming's dantian, it didn't affect Lu Ming at all. Nothing is impossible.
Kill.
Lu Ming shouted coldly. Using the great divine wind art, his body moved like the wind and attacked Xing, heavenly chief killing sword. Dark Star let out a long howl and thrust out a stunning sword strike towards Lu Ming.
Boom.
Xing's long sword collided with Lu Ming's palm, causing a violent explosion. But this time, Xing's body violently trembled and he was forced to retreat. His face was somewhat pale. This time, he was actually at a disadvantage. One had to know that previously, he and Lu Ming were evenly matched when they clashed head-on. Sure enough, this guy's strength is related to the Een spirit assassin. He can get the bonus of the Een spirit assassin's strength. Lu Ming's lips curled into a cold smile. In fact, after exchanging dozens of blows, he had already noticed something fishy and had a guess in his heart. With his taboo power, he could have used the method of mutual destruction to get rid of the dark spirit assassin from the Dark Star. However, Dandan had sent him a voice transmission at that time. Thus, he decided to stall the dark spirit assassin until now. Now that Dandan had successfully set up the array formation, Lu Ming naturally did not want to tangle with the other party. Swoosh swoosh swoosh. The other 6 Een spirit assassins attacked Lu Ming from all directions. Lu Ming waved his palm like a knife and blasted out 6 blows in a row. He exchanged 1 blow with each of the 6 Een spirit assassins. Originally, there were 7 Een spirit assassins. Now that there was 1 less, their combat strength was naturally weaker. After exchanging 1 blow with Lu Ming, they all retreated a few steps. Swoosh! Lu Ming directly rushed towards one of the Een spirit assassins and attacked with all his might. He completely ignored the Een spirit assassin's attack. Puff! The Een spirit assassin's attack pierced through the Een spirit assassin's heart. However, Lu Ming acted as if nothing had happened. He continued to attack and bombarded the Een spirit assassin. With a boom, the Een spirit assassin followed in the footsteps of the previous Een spirit assassin. He was blasted into pieces by Lu Ming and was completely destroyed. You, how is this possible? And Xing roared. Kill! Lu Ming was too lazy to pay attention to him. His attacks were like a storm as he attacked the other Een spirit assassins. With 1 less Een spirit assassin, he was even less of a match for Lu Ming and was blasted back. Lu Ming stared at another Een spirit assassin and attacked. He still opened his array formation wide and did not look like he was defending. I don't believe it. Kill, kill, kill. And Xing roared. Under his control, the Een spirit assassin attacked Lu Ming crazily. This time, the Een spirit assassin attacked Lu Ming's head. Puff! A long sword pierced through Lu Ming's forehead and penetrated Lu Ming's head. Let's see how you're going to die this time. And Xing roared. No matter who it was, the head was definitely a vital point. It was the place where one's soul was stored. If the head was damaged, even if one didn't die, he would be seriously injured. But at the next moment, and Xing's eyes widened rapidly, revealing an expression of horror and disbelief. Because Lu Ming was completely fine. With a punch, he blew up the 3rd Een spirit assassin. And the wound between Lu Ming's eyebrows was recovering at a speed visible to the naked eye. Monster, you're a monster, you! And Xing roared hysterically. Dantian heart and head. These 3 vital points had been pierced, but Lu Ming was still fine. If this wasn't a monster, then what was? I'll send you on your way, Lu Ming said coldly. The taboo energy in his body boiled. A large number of ordinary secret techniques erupted, turning into a dazzling light that merged with the taboo energy. Then, they blasted toward Xing and the remaining 4 Een spirit assassins. And Xing hurriedly tried to block. However, without the support of the 3 Een spirit assassins, and Xing was no longer a match for Lu Ming. His combat strength was weaker than Lu Ming's. He and the 4 Een spirit assassins were blasted back by Lu Ming. Puff! And Xing spat out a mouthful of blood. As for the 4 Een spirit assassins, although they wouldn't spit out blood, their bodies were injured to varying degrees. Lu Ming didn't give him a chance to breathe at all. Like a gust of wind, he charged toward Xing and attacked continuously. His attacks were like a storm, crushing toward Xing. And Xing tried to block continuously, but he couldn't block at all. After a few moves, his face turned pale and he spat out a few more mouthfuls of blood. He could only control the Een spirit assassins to block Lu Ming's attacks at this moment. After a few moves, another Een spirit assassin was killed by Lu Ming. Only 3 Een spirit assassins were left. And Xing's heart was bleeding. He had spent a lot of effort to get these Een spirit assassins. Each of them was a peerless monster. It wasn't easy to gather 7 peerless monsters, but now, 4 of them were killed by Lu Ming in just a short while. Without 4 Een spirit assassins, his combat strength would drop by a lot. In a battle of the same level, he might not be a match for the other universe's genius candidates. Young Master and Xing. Damn it! The other 2 Een spirit race experts wanted to save Xing, but how could Dandan and Ling Yue let them succeed? Dandan continuously activated several large arrays. 1 large array condensed countless sword lights. 1 large array condensed countless golden alligators. 1 large array condensed countless chains. Chapter 4053. Dandan continuously activated several large arrays, either attacking or trapping the enemy, firmly entangling the 2 spirit of Een experts. At the same time, the one who posed the greatest threat was still Ling Yue. From time to time, she would shoot an arrow, specifically targeting the flaws of the 2 spirit of Een experts. The 2 spirit of Een experts had to pay 120% of their attention to deal with it. Otherwise, if they were careless, they would be pierced by the arrow. They wanted to save Dark Star, but for a moment, they were powerless. Unknowingly, the situation of the battle had tilted towards Lu Ming's side. Dark Star, today, this place will be your burial ground. I will take your head and offer it to my team members. Lu Ming said coldly. Like a berserk Tyrannosaurus Rex, he charged towards Dark Star. Wherever his body passed, the void would be torn apart, creating sinister cracks. Mu Yun, you want to kill me? Dream on. Today, I admit that I have failed, but next time, I will not let such a situation happen. You are destined to die in my hands, and I will make you my strongest spirit of an assassin. Dark Star roared, and then retreated explosively. He wanted to leave. If he continued to fight, he wouldn't be able to deal with Lu Ming. Instead, he would put himself in danger. You want to leave? Is that possible? Lu Ming sneered, and used the Great Divine Wind technique to the extreme. Like a gust of wind, he chased after Dark Star. Dark Star was already injured, and his speed was slower than Lu Ming's. In the blink of an eye, Lu Ming had caught up to him. Boom! Lu Ming attacked with all his might, and all sorts of methods burst out. Great Divine Wind technique, Great Shattering technique, Great Devil Sword technique. All sorts of attacks turned into a torrent of attacks that crushed towards Dark Star. Block it for me. Dark Star's eyes revealed a ruthless look as he directly controlled a spirit of an assassin to charge towards Lu Ming. No matter how precious a spirit of an assassin was, it was still a worldly possession. How could it be compared to his life? As long as he was still alive, there would always be a spirit of an assassin. He wanted to use the Nether Spirit Assassin to block Lu Ming's attack and help him escape. As long as he could escape the range of the Imperial Armament Domain, he would be able to use his great killing weapon. At the same time, he was also a second-rate heavenly soldier. Thus, he would be able to use his second-rate heavenly soldier battle armor. With these two divine weapons, Lu Ming would never be able to kill him. As long as he could get away, he would take revenge like crazy and let Lu Ming know the consequences of offending him. Yes, he was the one who wanted to kill Lu Ming first. In the end, he failed to kill Lu Ming. In his heart, it was Lu Ming who had offended him. Bang! Another Nether Spirit Assassin was killed by Lu Ming. As such, there were only two Een Spirit Assassins left by Dark Star's side. Another Nether Spirit Assassin rushed towards Lu Ming and attacked Lu Ming. Dark Star had calculated correctly. As long as this Nether Spirit Assassin blocked him, he would have enough time to rush out of the range of the Imperial Armament Domain. His calculation was correct. Under Lu Ming's full attack, this Nether Spirit Assassin was killed by Lu Ming. However, it did block Lu Ming for a while. Lu Ming, wait for my crazy revenge. I will make you regret it. I will make you die in regret. Seeing that he was about to rush out of the range of the Imperial Armament Domain, Dark Star heaved a sigh of relief. Then, he looked at Lu Ming with an incomparably ferocious expression. Is that so? You are so confident that you can rush out of the range of the Imperial Armament Domain? Lu Ming sneered and chased after Dark Star at a neither fast nor slow pace. Bas! At this moment, endless runes suddenly appeared in the void between heaven and earth. These runes intertwined together and enveloped the entire Imperial Armament Domain. These runes intertwined to form a golden wall that enveloped the area like a cage. Enemy trapping formation. 1,000 divine walls. Just now, the formation that Dandan had secretly set up was this great formation. Dark Star's expression changed. Break! With a long roar, Xing attacked with all his strength. A sword light slashed at the golden wall. Clang! Sparks flew in all directions, and the wall trembled for a moment. However, it didn't break apart and blocked Dark Star's attack. At this moment, Xing's expression not only changed, but it also changed miserably. He turned deathly pale. "Aw, break for me!" Dark Star screamed hysterically and attacked crazily. However, they were still blocked and did not break through. Dandan had spent a lot of time creating a gigantic deployment spell. It was enough to block the attacks of cultivators of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. However, Dark Star's attacks weren't as strong as those of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. At this time, Lu Ming had already arrived. "I told you, this is where you will be buried." Lu Ming spoke coldly, but his attacks did not stop. He continued to launch attacks. At this moment, Dark Star and the last elf were resisting with all their might. However, with only one Een Spirit Assassin left, Dark Star's strength had dropped drastically. Originally, when he was a godly Emperor layer cultivator, he could fight against cultivators who were 4.5 cultivation levels higher than him. But now, he could only fight against cultivators who were 3.5 cultivation levels higher than him. The difference of 1 cultivation level in the godly Emperor layer was like the difference between heaven and earth.
Boom! Boom! 2 violent explosions sounded. At that moment, the last elf's body exploded and turned into ashes. As for Dark Star, half of his body had also exploded. His flesh and blood splattered everywhere. He had been severely injured. Boom! Lu Ming's powerful qi enveloped him. His ice-cold murderous intent made Dark Star's body tremble. You want to make me regret? You want to make me regret? I don't think you have the chance, said Lu Ming coldly. You. And Xing felt his entire body being enveloped by an icy chill. At this moment, he finally understood what fear was. Regret. At this moment, he was truly regretful. He regretted using the Imperial Weapon Domain. Originally, he had used the Imperial Weapon Domain to kill Lu Ming. But now, it had become the biggest obstacle to his survival.
Using the Imperial Weapon Domain had turned into a trap of his own making.
Mu Yun, you can't kill me. We are both heavenly soldiers. If you kill me, you will be violating the heavenly law. You will be killed by the experts of the heavenly palace.
Dark Star shouted. Violating the heavenly law? You have killed so many of my men and you still want to say that you have violated the heavenly law?
Don't you find it ridiculous? Lu Ming sneered. After saying that, Lu Ming directly attacked. No, you can't, Dark Star roared crazily, wanting to counterattack. Unfortunately, all the other elf assassins had been dealt with by Lu Ming. Dark Star's combat strength was already inferior to Lu Ming's by a large margin. In addition, he was severely injured. How could he counterattack? Lu Ming's attack crushed down and Dark Star's body directly exploded. His body and soul were destroyed. Regret. Until the last moment when he was killed by Lu Ming, Dark Star's heart was still filled with regret and remorse. Originally, he thought that killing Lu Ming was a sure thing. After killing Lu Ming, he could even refine Lu Ming into his elf assassin. With Lu Ming's talent, once he became his elf assassin, his combat strength would skyrocket. He would be invincible against those of the same level and step into the peak of the universe. He never expected that in the end, not only would he fail to kill Lu Ming, but he would also be left behind. If he had known earlier, he would never have accepted this mission. Chapter 4054. And Xing, a peerless genius of the spirit of Yin race, one of the candidates for the Universe Prodigy list, died in the hands of Lu Ming with incomparable regret. With the death of Xing, the remaining 2 spirit of Yin race experts were incomparably shocked and terrified. The 2 of them went all out. The divine power in their bodies burned fiercely as they crazily rushed out, wanting to escape. With Xing killed, Lu Ming was free to deal with them. They were in danger. You want to leave? Say.
Dandan shouted loudly as he continuously attacked to replenish the power of the array. In addition to Ling Yue's attacks, the 2 spirit of Yin race experts were unable to rush out at all. Dandan, let them go. At this time, Lu Ming sent a sound transmission to Dandan. Dandan was slightly stunned at first, but then his eyes rolled around and he understood. He replied to Lu Ming with a sound transmission. You brat, you understand. Hee. After that, Dandan purposely manipulated the formation, causing it to reveal a flaw. The 2 spirit of Yin race experts discovered a flaw and were immediately overjoyed. They attacked with all their strength, breaking the array in one fell swoop and rushing out of the encirclement. Swish swish. The 2 of them turned into 2 sword lights and quickly flew into the distance. However, there was still the golden wall set up by Dandan around them. Break. The 2 spirit of Yin race experts roared and attacked with all their strength. They slashed out 2 shocking sword lights and slashed at the golden wall. With 2 loud booms, the golden wall actually crumbled apart. The 2 spirit of Yin race experts were slightly stunned. Earlier, Dark Star had continuously bombarded the golden wall with his attacks. Yet, he was unable to break through it. Thus, how was it that the 2 of them were able to break through the golden wall with their combined attacks? Could it be that the golden wall was on the verge of collapse due to Dark Star's continuous bombardment? But at this moment, in the face of danger, the 2 spirit of Yin race experts didn't have time to think and directly rushed out. Chase.
Don't let them escape. Dandan shouted and chased after them. Lu Ming and Ling Yue also turned into two rainbow lights and followed closely behind. Both sides were extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, they had rushed out more than 100,000 miles. More than 100,000 miles away, they had already left the range of the forbidden weapon domain. At this time, Lu Ming suddenly felt his body lighten. The force that was blocking him had directly disappeared. He could once again connect with the Gale Pearl, the Ice Mysterious Rod, and the second-tier Heavenly Soldier battle armor and control them. Ling Yue was the same. She directly took out her bloodied elven bow and knocked an arrow. An arrow condensed and with a shiob sound, it cut through the void and shot towards an expert of the Spirit of Een race. Not good, we've been tricked. A Spirit of Een race expert roared. At this moment, he finally understood why it was so easy for them to break out of the encirclement. It was because Lu Ming and the rest had deliberately allowed them to break out of the encirclement. They rushed out of the encirclement. Lu Ming and the rest also left the perimeter of the forbidden zone. Once Lu Ming and the group left the perimeter of the restricted area, they would be able to use their trump card immediately. As for them, although they could control the divine armament, they didn't have any great killing weapons. Moreover, they were only third-tier Heavenly Soldier, and their Heavenly Soldier battle armor was only third tier. They could only block a single attack from a 9th-level Divine Emperor. However, the power of the killing weapon that Ling Yue or Lu Ming was controlling was not only at the 9th level of the Divine Emperor realm. The Spirit of Een race expert resisted with all his might. At the same time, the armor on his body glowed with light, and a light barrier rose up, enveloping him within. However, it was all in vain. With a bang, the arrow pierced through the Spirit of Een race expert's head. The Spirit of Een race expert's head directly exploded, and even his soul was annihilated. The moment Ling Yue made her move, Lu Ming also made his move. A terrifying gale rushed out from the Gale Pearl, condensing into a wind blade and rushing out. Bang! The Spirit of Een race's defense was also pierced through. However, the power of the gale was slightly weaker. Although it had pierced through the third-tier Heavenly Soldier battle armor, it did not kill the Spirit of Een race expert. However, the second wind blade was released immediately after. The Spirit of Een race expert only let out a miserable scream before his body turned into ashes in the gale. Ha ha ha, easy to deal with. Dandan laughed. Lu Ming also revealed a smile. That's right, they had purposely let the two Spirit of Een race experts escape. If they were in the forbidden weapon domain, Lu Ming, Dandan and Ling Yue would be able to kill the two Spirit of Een race experts if they worked together. However, it would be more troublesome. If the two of them were to fight with their lives on the line, they might even be injured. However, once they left the forbidden weapon domain, they would be able to control their killing weapons. Killing these two Spirit of Een race experts would be as easy as flipping their hands. These two were different from Dark Star. Once Dark Star left the forbidden weapon domain, it would be very difficult to kill him. Therefore, they had to kill him in the forbidden weapon domain. Shall we clean up the battlefield? Lu Ming said. Next, Lu Ming and the others turned the corpses of Dark Star and the others into ashes. Then, they collected all the evil demon spirit blood. As for his team members, they were also brought to a nearby island and buried by the three of them. Sigh. Lu Ming sighed. Speaking of which, these people were all implicated by him. Dark Star and the others wanted to kill him. Otherwise, these people wouldn't have died. Mu Yun, you don't have to blame yourself. The main thing is that a traitor has appeared among us. Otherwise, these people wouldn't have died. Ling Yue advised, afraid that Lu Ming would have a knot in his heart. Don't worry, I'm fine. However, we must use the blood of the angel race to pay tribute to these innocent people. Lu Ming's eyes flickered with a cold light. Through his previous conversation with Dark Star, he concluded that the person behind this was the angel race. He would remember this grudge. If there was a chance, he would definitely make the angel race pay the price. What should we do next? Should we return to Nantian City to replenish our troops? Or? Dandan asked. Lu Ming shook his head and said, No, replenish our troops. What if another traitor appears? It was enough for this kind of thing to happen once. Lu Ming didn't want it to happen a second time. That was equivalent to placing one's life in the hands of another. This time, it was because of good luck, or perhaps because Dark Star and the others were too confident that Lu Ming and the others could turn the tables. If the other party sent out a stronger killer this time,
such as someone whose combat strength exceeded the 9th layer of the Divine Emperor realm, coupled with the appearance of a traitor in the forbidden weapon domain, they would be in danger.
Being lucky this time didn't mean that they would be lucky next time.
If another traitor appeared next time, and then an even stronger enemy came, wouldn't they be in danger? How about the three of us act from now on?
Lu Ming said.
Sure, that's exactly what I want.
Dandan said. I have no objections either. The three of us will be more flexible and secretive. Ling Yue said. After that, they left and did not return to Nantian City. Instead, they continued to move around the Starry Demon Island and hunt demons. Chapter 40-55. Of course, there were advantages and disadvantages to the three of them moving together. The disadvantage was that their battle prowess was not strong enough. A team could set up a battle formation with powerful battle prowess. As long as they did not encounter any Divine Lord Realm experts, even if they encountered a large group of demons, they would be able to charge over and defeat them. However, if there were only three of them, even if they relied on their killing weapons, if they encountered a large group of demons, such as 109th level Divine Emperor Realm demons, they would definitely have to flee. With so many demons attacking together, the power was extremely shocking. Lu Ming was not afraid of relying on his Tier 2 Heavenly Soldier battle armor, but Dandan and Ling Yue were in danger. If a large number of demons set up the 10,000 Demon God slaughtering formation and trapped them, Lu Ming would be in danger after a long time. Therefore, their later actions became more secretive and cautious. They didn't attack the powerful islands and only hunted the abyss devils that were alone or in small numbers. The three of them restrained their auras and headed towards the depths of the Star Devil Island. A day later, they had already passed through 7 or 8 Devil Islands. There's a group of demons in front of us. There are less than 100 of them. Should we make a move? Below the lake, Dandan said. They hid under the surface of the lake while Dandan set up a formation to investigate the situation outside. After a day, they finally encountered a small group of demons. Less than 100? Then let's do it. Lu Ming decided.
If there were less than 100 of them, it couldn't be that all of them were at the 9th level of the Divine Emperor realm, right? Even if they took 10,000 steps back, even if they were all at the 9th level of the mythical realm, they should be able to escape unscathed if they were prepared beforehand.
All right, they're heading east. Let's go east too, Dandan said. Immediately, the three of them headed east at the bottom of the lake. As they hurried along, Dandan also set up a formation. Talisman scripts were constantly being emitted from various parts of his body, disappearing into the lake water. At the side, Ling Yue was extremely envious. Dandan's method of setting up a formation was truly miraculous. After a while, we're here, the demons are right above us, Dandan said. In fact, there was no need for Dandan to say anything. Lu Ming and the rest could sense that there was a strong demonic aura above the lake. 31 cultivators of the 9th Godly Emperor layer, the others have the strength of the 8th or 7th Godly Emperor layer, Lu Ming muttered. At such a close distance, they could already sense the cultivation of the demons above. The three of them looked relieved. There were only 31 demons of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. It was still within the range that they could handle. However, they did not act immediately. Instead, they secretly followed the demons because the Dandan needed time to set up the formation. After a while, Dandan finished setting up a set of formations. You can attack now, Dandan said. Then, let's do it. Lu Ming nodded. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. As soon as he said that, the three of them dashed towards the surface of the lake. At the same time, Dandan had already activated the formation. On the surface of the lake, under the demons, countless talismans suddenly appeared, and a gigantic formation appeared. This formation was a trapping formation. Chains extended from the surface of the lake and wrapped around the hundreds of demons. In a flash, at least a few hundred chains appeared, like the tentacles of an octopus. It was terrifying and evil. Enemy attack, shouted one of the demons. In a flash, over 100 demons attacked. Demonic chi soared to the sky. They attacked the chains one after another, making clanging sounds. The chains were broken one by one. However, it was a formation that Dandan had spent a lot of time setting up, so it was not easy to break. Some of the demons who only had the strength of the 7th Godly Emperor layer were bound by the chains. As soon as they were bound by the chains quickly tightened, like pythons catching animals. At that moment, Lu Ming, Dandan, and Ling Yue had already rushed out of the lake. Whoosh! As soon as Ling Yue rushed out of the lake, she shot an arrow. An arrow shot out, 1 divided into 2, 2 divided into 4, 4 divided into 8. One arrow turned into dozens of arrows, shooting towards the demons who were bound by the chains. Those demons had low cultivation levels, so they were bound by the chains and couldn't move. They couldn't dodge the arrows. Puh, puh. Those demons' heads were all pierced by the arrows, and they died on the spot. At the same time, Lu Ming also attacked. He held the Zephyr Pearl in his hand, and a violent gale swept out, attacking the demons in front of him. A few screams sounded. In a flash, at least 10 demons were killed by the gale. Most of them were of the 8th Godly Emperor layer, but there were also 2 of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. It's the bastards of the ancient desolate universe. Damn it! Counterattack! Those demons roared furiously and started fighting back. However, they were in the middle of Dandan's deployment spell. Dandan kept controlling the chains to attack those demons, causing them serious interference. If they weren't careful, they would be bound by the chains. Bzzz. The bowstring vibrated, and the blood-stained elven royal bow shone. An arrow shot out, aiming at a demon of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. With a bang, that demon was killed on the spot. When Ling Yu's cultivation level was still at the 2nd Godly Emperor layer, she could already fight against a cultivator of the 9th Godly Emperor layer with her full strength. At the 3rd Godly Emperor layer, she could kill a cultivator of the 9th Godly Emperor layer with her full strength. Now, her cultivation level was at the 4th Godly Emperor layer. She didn't need to use the Elven Royal Bow to kill cultivators of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. She hadn't used her full strength a moment before. Without using her full strength, she could use more attacks. Lu Ming didn't use the mysterious ice staff, he just used the Zephyr Pearl.
With his current cultivation level and his great godly wind technique, the strength of the Zephyr Pearl was enough to kill a cultivator of the 9th Godly Emperor layer.
Whoosh! Whoosh! Strong winds turned into wind blades and flew out. Those who were hit by the wind were killed instantly.
In just a few breaths of time, they had killed more than half of the hundreds of evil demons, leaving only 40 or so. Among them, 20 had the strength of the 9th Godly Emperor layer.
Set up the deployment spell, shouted a demon. He wanted to set up the 10,000 demons god-slaughtering great deployment spell. But how could Lu Ming and the others let them succeed? Dandan used his full strength to control the deployment spell and separate the demons so that they couldn't join hands. Ling Yu kept pulling the strings of her blood-stained elven royal bow, aiming at the demons of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. She kept shooting arrows. Each arrow could kill a demon of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. On Lu Ming's side, it was the same. Strong winds were whistling as one demon after another fell. After a few seconds, the number of demons of the 9th Godly Emperor layer decreased from 20 to a dozen. Chapter 4056. Whoosh! Lu Ming released a strong wind which swept towards a demon of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. That demon's skin was dark purple and he looked ferocious. He didn't try to dodge the wind, he shouted furiously, "Heavenly Palace bastard, die!" Swish! Swish! That demon's claws were extremely long and sharp. He kept clawing at the strong wind. Sizzle! When his claws collided with Lai Feng, there was a violent collision sound. In the end, the devil retreated, but Lai Feng was also blocked by him. How strong! Lu Ming's eyes twinkled. That demon also had the strength of the 9th Godly Emperor layer, but he could block Lin Feng's strong wind. That meant he was much stronger than ordinary cultivators of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. Clearly, this abyss demon was a genius among abyss demons. His combat strength was far above ordinary abyss demons. Roar! He let out a roar as his body began to swell. Numerous malevolent bone spikes extended from the surface of his skin, making him look even more ferocious. "I'll hold him back. You go and kill that bastard," shouted the demon. He was obviously talking to another demon. He threw himself at Lu Ming. His claws were even sharper than before. He could easily tear apart godly weapons. Strong wind, die! Lu Ming held the Gale Pearl in his hand. Another gust of strong wind rushed out from the Gale Pearl, turning into a wind blade and charging toward the demon. Clang! The attacks of the two sides collided, bursting out with a powerful force. Some of the surrounding chains formed by the array formation were also shattered by the force.
The other demons who were close by were directly injured by the force of the blast. They hurriedly retreated and put some distance between them. Roar! A terrifying roar spread in the air. It came from a demon with red skin. That demon looked like the other demons, but his skin was red like fire. He dashed toward Lu Ming from another direction. As he dashed out, his body emitted blazing flames. A demonic saber that was emitting flames appeared in his hands. He moved extremely quickly towards Lu Ming. Whoosh! On the other side, Ling Yue also noticed this demon. She pulled the Elf King's bow that was stained with blood and shot an arrow. A terrifying arrow shot towards the fiery red demon. In an instant, the arrow approached the demon. Slash! The demon roared and slashed out with his saber, colliding with Ling Yue's arrow. A violent explosion sounded out, as if a star had exploded. In the next moment, Ling Yue's arrow actually shook violently, and with a bang, it exploded. As for the red-skinned demon, he only took 2 steps back. Powerful. This demon was also very powerful. He was definitely not weaker than the demon with bone spikes all over his body. He was actually able to block Ling Yue's arrow, even though Ling Yue did not use her full strength. It seems that there are 2 fiend geniuses here. A thought flashed through Lu Ming's mind. Instead of being shocked, he was delighted. The more talented an Abyss Devil was, the more merit points their Abyss Devil spirit blood could be exchanged for. Last time in the 8 Snake Mountain range, the demon Prince Samoras had given him a total of 60,000 merit points. This made Lu Ming feel nostalgic. Roar! The fiery red-skinned Abyss Devil only retreated slightly before roaring and pouncing towards Lu Ming. He wanted to cooperate with the Abyss Devil to deal with Lu Ming first. His speed was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he was in front of Lu Ming. The Abyss Devil with bone spikes all over his body also roared and attacked. His sharp claws tore through the air as he grabbed towards Lu Ming. If he was caught, Lu Ming's body would definitely be torn apart. However, at this time, a snow-white staff appeared in Lu Ming's hand. Ice Shen Staff. Lu Ming activated the Ice Shen Staff with all his strength. Forbidden power crazily gushed out and poured into the Ice Shen Staff. The Ice Shen Staff rapidly expanded and swept out. Boom! Boom! The Ice Shen Staff collided with the attacks of the 2 fiend geniuses, causing 2 explosions. The Abyss Devil with bone spikes all over his body gave a horrible shriek. His bone spikes broke apart one by one. His body shook violently as he was pushed backwards. The 2 fiends who had the strength of the 8th godly emperor layer were killed. He coughed up large mouthfuls of blood, and was tightly bound by a chain. The other Abyss Devil with flames around his body didn't fare any better. He was sent flying backwards like a meteor. The flames on his body were extinguished in a flash. At the same time, he was also wrapped around by a chain. Then, a layer of ice appeared on their bodies. The ice layer quickly spread and froze them. The 2 fiends' eyes were wide open. Their vitality was quickly fading away. In the blink of an eye, their vitality was completely gone. This was after Lu Ming had controlled his strength. Otherwise, if he had activated the Bingxian Rod with all his might, he could have blasted the 2 demons into smithereens. However, if his bones were crushed, he wouldn't even be able to obtain the fiend's spirit blood. That would be a great loss. Therefore, Lu Ming had controlled his strength and didn't blow them apart. Oh no! Hurry up and run! When the remaining fiends saw that the 2 fiend geniuses had been killed, they were terrified. They scattered in all directions. They didn't have the slightest will to resist. However, under the obstruction of Dandan's formation, as well as Ling Yue and Lu Ming's killing weapons, the fiend couldn't escape. After a short time, all the fiends were killed. After that, Lu Ming and the others collected the fiend's spirit blood and quickly left. Not long after Lu Ming and the others left, a group of fiends flew over. They had obviously been alarmed by the battle just now. Unfortunately, they had already lost track of Lu Ming and the others. After a short time, they appeared in a different place. They encountered another group of fiends. There were only a few dozen of them. Among them, there weren't any strong fiends. Lu Ming and the others easily killed them all. After that they left. After that, they went everywhere, looking for fiends to kill. Of course, they were much more cautious than before. After all, they had seen the strength of the fiends' geniuses. They couldn't be underestimated. If they encountered a terrifying monster among the fiends, whose strength was at the 9th layer of the Divine Emperor realm, even if they had a great killing weapon, the result would still be unpredictable. Sure enough, 10 days later, when they were hunting a group of fiends, they encountered a terrifying fiend. This fiend's cultivation was at the 9th layer of the Divine Emperor realm, but his battle prowess was shockingly strong. Lu Ming estimated that he was comparable to a genius who could fight across 2 levels. Lu Ming activated the mysterious ice rod with all his strength, but he couldn't do anything to this fiend genius. In the end, it was Dandan and Ling Yue who cooperated with Lu Ming. The 3 of them worked together to kill this fiend genius. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed since Lu Ming and the others entered the Starry Demon Island. On this day, they were walking under the lake when they suddenly felt a violent explosion coming from the lake in front of them. There were people fighting. Chapter 4057. Lu Ming and the others were below the surface of the lake. They could clearly feel that there was an intense battle in front of them. This was because the fluctuations were too intense. The vast energy surged violently. It was difficult not to sense it. What a strong fluctuation. I'm afraid there are quite a few battles between the 2 sides. Let's sneak over and take a look, Ling Yue said, revealing a curious expression. Let's go. Lu Ming nodded. They had a formation set up by Dandan on their bodies that could hide their auras very well. They were not afraid of being discovered. They planned to get closer to see if they could find an opportunity to take advantage of the situation. If there was an opportunity, they might as well make a move. If there was no opportunity, they could just sneak away. Soon, they arrived not far away from the formation. They extended their spiritual senses and quietly observed. Immediately, the situation outside was completely revealed. Outside was an island. On the island, demonic aura soared into the sky, covering the sky and the sun. At this moment, a large number of demons formed the 10,000 Demons God Slaughtering formation. More than a dozen huge demons stood between heaven and earth, fighting with a group of people. The ones fighting with the demons were naturally the heavenly soldiers of the heavenly palace. There were a total of 4 teams. The 4 teams formed a battle formation. 4 sword lights soared into the sky, fiercely clashing with more than a dozen demonic shadows. The 2 sides continued to fight, but the battle was only a draw. People from the angel race. A cold light flashed in the eyes of Lu Ming and the other 2. Among the 4 teams, one of them was completely formed by the geniuses of the angel race. Seeing the angel race, the 3 of them had no choice but to reveal their killing intent. The spirits of Een from before were sent by the angel race. It would be great if these angels were scattered. Ling Yue muttered. Dandan, is there any way to break the other party's battle formation? Lu Ming asked. If they wanted to deal with the angels and take revenge on them, they had to break the other party's battle formation. Otherwise, they wouldn't be a match for these angels. The power of the battle formation was too strong. There's no other way. This kind of battle formation of the Heavenly Palace uses runes as the foundation and is integrated into the battle armor. I have no way of breaking it. Dandan shook his head. Then we can only observe and see the situation, Lu Ming said. They continued to hide under the lake to observe the situation outside. The battle between the devils and the Heavenly Palace continued for 2 hours. In the end, the 4 teams from the Heavenly Palace were at a disadvantage and retreated together. The demons did not chase after them because the strength of the 2 sides was similar. Even if they did chase after them, they would not be able to finish off the people from the Heavenly Palace. The 4 teams from the Heavenly Palace retreated far away and rested on an island far away. Lu Ming and the other 3 quietly followed and observed in the dark. Not long after, the 4 teams rested and gathered together to discuss for a while. Then, the 4 teams actually separated and flew off in 4 different directions. It seemed that the 4 teams felt that they could not deal with the demons on that island, so they split up and went to other islands to hunt demons. Should we follow them? Dandan asked. Obviously, he was asking if they should follow the angels. Let's follow them and see, Lu Ming said. His eyes flashed with a cold light. He was not so easy to talk to. The angels had secretly sent people to kill Lu Ming. Lu Ming did not intend to let them go. Moreover, in that team, there were familiar prodigies like Lafitte of the angels. Lu Ming concluded that the spirits of Nether were sent by Lafitte and the others. As long as he got rid of the angels, he would be safe for a period of time. He would not have to worry about being assassinated. This was a way to solve the problem once and for all. The 3 of them secretly followed. Half a day later, they saw a small island. There were many devils on this island. However, the number of fiends on this island was much smaller.
The angels directly attacked.
The fiends on this island weren't very strong, so they weren't able to form a battle formation in time. Therefore, they were easily defeated by the angels. After defeating the devils on this island and collecting the devil's spirit blood, the angels left this island and continued to hunt for devils. In the next few days, the angels found a total of 3 devil islands. They defeated the devils on these islands and obtained a large amount of devil spirit blood. During these 3 days, Lu Ming and the others followed behind the angels. However, they did not find a chance to attack. On the 4th day, the angels found an even bigger devil island. This devil island was even bigger and more vast. There were many devils on this devil island.
Devil Chi soared to the sky.
It formed the 10,000 devil god slaughtering array. There were dozens of huge devil shadows. However, these devils were at a disadvantage. This was because there were more people from the heavenly palace besieging the devil island. There were a total of 10 teams. They formed a battle formation and besieged the devil island. When the angels saw that the heavenly palace had the upper hand, they immediately rushed forward without hesitation and joined the battle against the devils. With the addition of a team from the heavenly palace, the devils were at a disadvantage.
It seems like the devils are going to lose.
When they lose, we will secretly attack and see if we can kill some devils and obtain some devil spirit blood.
Lu Ming said.
This island was very big. It was probably a top-notch island among the astral devil islands. There must be many devil prodigies on this island.
Naturally, they wanted to kill some and obtain some devil spirit blood. The battle continued.
However, the scales of victory were slowly tilting towards the heavenly palace.
Slowly, the devils could only defend. They had fewer and fewer opportunities to counterattack.
They were suppressed by the heavenly palace. If this continued, it was only a matter of time before the devils were defeated. Bastards from the heavenly palace, die!
Suddenly, an angry roar came from the sky.
Rumble! The entire world trembled under this loud roar. Then, a huge devil blade appeared in the sky. It cut through the void and slashed towards one of the teams from the heavenly palace. It was terrifying and filled with devil chi. Oh no! It's the devil emperor of the devils. The faces of the people in that team changed drastically. There was a devil emperor in the sky. This was an existence that was equivalent to the celestial emperor realm. It was too terrifying. It was impossible for them to dodge it.
Activate the battle formation with all your might.
Block it. The team leader of that team shouted. They activated the battle formation with all their might. It turned into a huge golden sword light that rushed into the sky and collided with the devil blade. Boom! There was a shocking roar. Golden and black light filled the whole sky. The violent force swept across the world. However, this resistance only lasted for a breath's time before the golden sword light crumbled. The demonic saber didn't stop.
It continued to slash at the group.
With a boom, the group's battle formation was directly destroyed.
Miserable screams rang out.
At least half of the group of 50 people were killed by the terrifying power.
Chapter 4058.
The existence of the Demon Emperor realm was too strong. With one move, it destroyed a large formation, causing at least half of the team to die. However, this was just the beginning. Immediately after, in the sky, there was another demonic saber light that slashed down violently. And this time, it was not one saber light, but 2 saber lights. 2 pitch-black demonic sabers slashed down at the 2 teams. One of the teams happened to be the team of the Angel Clan. The people of these 2 teams were pale, without a trace of blood, and their eyes were filled with fear. However, at this time they had to fight with all their might. They could not sit still and wait for death. Full force, resist with all your might. Burn your divine power. Loud roars were heard. At this moment, the people of the 2 teams were fighting with all their might. The divine power in their bodies burned fiercely, stimulating the power of the large formation to the extreme. At this time, no one cared about the consequences of burning their divine power. If they did not fight with all their might, they would lose their lives. Under the full force of the 2 teams, the power of the battle formation was stimulated to the extreme. 2 golden saber lights soared into the sky. However, the existence of the Demon Emperor realm was too strong. Even if they burned their divine power with all their might, the result was already destined. With 2 violent roars, the battle formations of the 2 teams exploded. Miserable screams were heard, and flesh and blood splattered and scattered on the surface of the lake. Even if they burned their divine power to resist, they could not resist the attack of the demon emperor. Their situation was only slightly better. Fewer people died in each team, but each team still lost about 20 people. As for the others who did not fall, unless they were second-rate heavenly soldiers, all of them were more or less injured, suffering varying degrees of damage.
Run, run! The remaining people screamed in terror and tried to flee in all directions. Without the battle formation, it was too dangerous for them to participate in such a battle with their true strength. However, how could those demons let go of such an opportunity? Kill! Kill them! Angry roars were heard as the demons activated the 10,000 demons god slaughtering formation. Suddenly, a few tall demonic shadows stepped on the void and attacked those who had lost the battle formation. Swoosh! A few huge demonic sabers slashed at these people. Among them, there was a huge demonic shadow that brandished the demonic saber and slashed at the angels. The expressions of the angels changed, their faces turning deathly pale. This slash was sent out by the myriad demon god slaughtering array. They had lost their battle array and could not withstand it at all. If they were hit, they would definitely die. You guys retreat first. At this moment, a figure stepped out from the group of angels. This was a young genius from the angel race. He was the captain of this team. Whoosh! Angel wings stretched out from his back, and holy light soared into the sky. A total of 5 pairs of wings. This was a 10-winged angel, the same as Lafite. However, his cultivation was much stronger than Lafite's. 7th Godly Emperor Layer. The young man from the angel clan had the strength of the 7th Godly Emperor Layer. His name was Sarah. His entire body was suffused with dense holy light, and the second-class celestial soldier armor on his body was activated, forming a light barrier that enveloped him. At the same time, a cross-shaped holy sword appeared in his hand, emitting a terrifying aura. This was his ultimate weapon. He had the strength of the 7th Godly Emperor Layer, and he was a 10-winged angel. He was terrifyingly strong, and with his deadly weapon, he was even more terrifying. He stood in front of the gigantic demon and slashed out with his sword. Holy light burst out, and the holy light sword was thousands of li long. It moved towards the gigantic demon. Boom! The sword of holy light collided with the demonic shadow's demonic blade, causing a violent explosion. However, it only lasted for 2 breaths before the sword of holy light crumbled. Even though Sarah was terrifyingly strong, he couldn't compete with the gigantic demon. The gigantic demon had been sent out by the myriad demon god slaughtering array. There were at least 100 demons of the 9th Godly Emperor Layer, and over 1,000 demons of the 8th and 7th Godly Emperor Layer. The holy light sword broke apart, and the demon blade crashed onto Sarah's body. His celestial soldier armor shook violently. In the end, he managed to block it. Run! Shouted Sarah furiously. He told the other young geniuses of the angel clan to run away. At that moment, the demon great emperor attacked again. The demon blade cut through the sky and continued moving towards the people of the heavenly palace. The people who were surrounded by the demon blade looked desperate. How dare you! At this moment, a furious roar resounded through the sky. The void suddenly split open, and a figure appeared. That person was wearing golden armor and holding a spear. He was dazzling with golden light. A terrifying chi surged out of his body. When that person appeared, he threw his spear and it pierced through the sky. It collided with the demon great emperor's demon blade. An earth-shattering explosion sounded. The demon blade had been blocked. Great Emperor! It's the Great Emperor! A first-class celestial soldier. The people of the heavenly palace cheered. The Great Emperor of the heavenly palace had arrived. The Great Emperor's eyes were as sharp as swords. He shouted furiously, "Your opponent is me!" Dang! As soon as he finished speaking, he took a step forward. The entire world rumbled as the spear pierced out, seemingly piercing into the depths of the universe. Roar! A terrifying roar sounded in the sky. The sky cracked open and a gigantic demon appeared. The demon's wings blotted out the sky. He was holding a demon blade. The demon blade slashed out. Boom! Boom! The 2 divine emperors and demon emperors fought fiercely against each other. For a moment, the void above them was filled with chaos. The scene was terrifying and it was hard to tell who was the winner. The battle between the great gods and demon great emperors didn't affect the battle below. The battle below was still intense.
The demons were using their full strength to activate the 10,000 demons slaughtering God Great Formation. The gigantic demons were entangled with the remaining battle formations of the Heavenly Palace. The gigantic demons were chasing after those who didn't have a battle formation. Previously, there were 3 teams whose battle formations had been destroyed by the demon Great Emperors. The demons were targeting those people. People were being killed continuously. The angels were doing better. Saga blocked the gigantic demon alone. The geniuses of the angels were happy to be safe. However, Saga's situation wasn't good. The second-class celestial soldier armor he was wearing was said to be able to withstand a full-strength attack from a cultivator of the first great supreme god layer. However, after the continuous attacks, it was in danger. Boom! In the end, the second-grade celestial soldier armor's defenses were destroyed, and the berserk energy slammed into Saga's body. Saga cried out as half of his body exploded, and the rest of his body flew out, coughing up large mouthfuls of blood. He had been heavily injured. However, after Saga's continuous attacks, the angels had retreated far away. They were almost out of the range of the 10,000 demons slaughtering God Great Formation.
Chapter 40-59. Let's go. Retreat.
Immediately, an angel rushed over and caught Sarah. Then, they flew back and left the island in the blink of an eye.
The demons didn't chase after them.
After all, the 10,000 demon god slaughtering array also needed to be set up in advance.
Without the array, its power would be greatly weakened.
The demons continued to fight with the other members of the Heavenly Palace, while the angels fled without a trace. There were originally 50 of them, but only 26 of them escaped in the end. The other 24 had been attacked by the Demon Emperor and the 10,000 demon god slaughtering array, and had fallen one after another.
Should we chase?
Dandan looked in the direction of the angels' escape, his eyes shining.
Of course we have to chase.
The corner of Lu Ming's mouth curled into a sneer.
Weren't they waiting for this kind of opportunity by following the angels? Now, was there a better opportunity than the one in front of them? Only half of the angels were left.
Without the support of the battle formation, they were all injured.
If they didn't make a move now, when would they?
Immediately, the 3 of them secretly chased in the direction of the angels' escape.
As for the battle on this demon island, they couldn't be bothered to care about it.
Soon, the angels reappeared in their field of vision. They followed them all the way.
The angels flew for a few hours and found a small island without demons.
Then they landed on the island to rest.
Mu Yun, are we going to make a move now?
Ling Yue asked.
No, now is not the time to make a move. Lu Ming shook his head.
Although there were only 26 angels left and all of them were injured, there were still many powerful existences among them. For example, that Sarah.
Saga was already heavily injured, but there were also a few other 10-winged angels. 2 of them had higher cultivation bases than Lafitte.
This kind of angel usually had a great killing weapon.
If they rushed forward now, they might not be able to annihilate all of them.
That's right.
What Lu Ming wanted was to annihilate all of these angels.
If they charged forward now, even if they could kill a portion of them, they definitely wouldn't be able to kill all of them.
This wasn't what Lu Ming wanted.
After a while, the injuries of these angels will probably be healed.
Ling Yue was rather worried. It's fine as long as the angel captain hasn't recovered from his injuries. This guy's injuries are very serious. He definitely won't recover so quickly. After Lu Ming finished speaking, he looked at Dandan and said, Dandan, it's up to you now. Set up an illusion array that can trap these angels.
No problem. As long as you give me some time, I guarantee that I'll be able to set up a large formation so that these angels won't be able to escape.
However, how do we get them to enter the formation?
Dandan said.
I'll do it.
Lu Ming said, don't they want to kill me?
If I appear in front of them in a seriously injured state, do you think they will come after me?
Ha ha ha, wonderful.
Dandan laughed loudly, and Ling Yue also revealed a smile. Lu Ming immediately left the island and found a place. Dandan began to set up the formation while Lu Ming sneaked back to observe the angels. Time flew by quickly. Very quickly. Half a day had passed. At this time, Lu Ming received a sound transmission from Dandan. The formation had been set up. With Dandan's current attainments in runic formations, it took him half a day to set up the formation. From this it could be seen how powerful this formation was. At this time, the injuries of the angels had basically healed. Of course,
Sarah's injuries were too severe, and he didn't have a heaven-defying physique like Lu Ming's. Naturally, he wouldn't be able to recover so quickly, and his aura was still very weak. You guys wait in the formation. I'll lure the angels over soon. Lu Ming replied to Dandan's message. Then, he took out a sword and stabbed himself in the chest, creating a hole that went through his chest. Blood continuously flowed out, dyeing his face red and making him look like he was heavily injured. Then, Lu Ming quietly left the place. When he was far enough away, Lu Ming rushed into the sky and flew towards the island where the angels were resting. He had a panicked look on his face. Rumble. The elites of the angel race looked toward the source of the voice and saw Lu Ming right away. That kid. It's Mu Yun. It's Mu Yun. That kid is still alive. But he seems to be severely injured. His aura is very weak, and he's running for his life in a panic. He must have encountered those from the Dark Star. That guy from the Dark Star is also a piece of trash. Didn't he say that he would definitely deal with Lu Ming? He actually managed to escape. But it doesn't matter. This kid's luck is really bad. He actually escaped to our place. He's destined to die in our hands. As soon as they saw Lu Ming, these angels immediately started discussing. Especially Tu Lafit and the others, they even revealed a cold murderous intent. At this moment, Lu Ming, who was flying in the distance, seemed to have just discovered the angels. He hurriedly stopped and revealed a frightened expression on his face. Then, he turned around and left. It's too late to leave now. Chase him together. Don't let him escape. Bring his head back to see young Master Gabbert. He will definitely reward you handsomely. These angels roared and turned into streaks of light as they chased after Lu Ming. Almost all of the 26 angels were on the move. They chased after Lu Ming. There were two reasons for doing so. First, they were afraid that Lu Ming would run away. If they moved together, they would see how Lu Ming could escape. Second, this was the constellation Devil Island after all, the territory of the devils. Now that their battle formation had been broken, they didn't dare to split up. If they split up, it would be more dangerous for them to encounter the devils. Angels. Lu Ming pretended to be frightened and shouted. Then, he unleashed all his strength and flew in the direction of Dandan's battle formation. As for the angels, they were hot on his heels. Lu Ming was seriously injured and alone. This was a good opportunity that was hard to come by. How could the angels let it go so easily? Both sides, one chasing and one fleeing, were very fast. Soon, they arrived at the place where Dandan's battle formation was set up. Lu Ming directly rushed into the battle formation set up by Dandan. The angels behind him didn't notice him at all. Among the angels, there was no lack of people who were proficient in runic formations. However, their attainments in runic formations were far inferior to Dandan's. Moreover, this battle formation was set up by Dandan after half a day. It was completely hidden in the void and didn't reveal any clues. These angels didn't notice it at all. The 26 angels followed closely behind Lu Ming and rushed into the battle formation. Chapter 40-60. Rise. Once all the angels had rushed into the area covered by the formation, Dandan shouted softly, "Let's go." As Dandan's voice sounded, a huge formation appeared in the sky. Endless runes spread and intertwined. It's a formation. Oh no, we've fallen into a trap. Damn Mu Yun, you're courting death. The angels roared. They were not stupid. As soon as they discovered the formation, they knew that they had fallen into a trap. Lu Ming was pretending to lure them into the formation. Charge out. Some of the angels roared. They gathered together and wanted to charge out. However, at this moment, the environment suddenly changed. These angels found that they had arrived in a boundless purgatory. Countless undead spirits rushed towards them from all directions. For example, zombies, skeletons, evil spirits and so on. They roared and pounced towards them ferociously. The angels were shocked. They launched a fierce attack. Beams of dazzling holy light burst out and bombarded the undead spirits. The undead spirits were instantly defeated. However, the undead spirits were defeated. More rock spirits appeared from all directions and rushed towards them. They charged forward at a very fast speed. However, after charging for a long distance, they realized that they still hadn't rushed out of the range of the formation. They were still in the formation. Illusion.
These are all illusions. We're in an illusion formation.
An angel prodigy who was more skilled in formations finally realized what was going on and shouted.
So it's an illusion formation. The angels' hearts relaxed a little. An illusion formation was better than a killing formation. 2 of the angels did not resist the undead spirits. They allowed the undead spirits to pounce on them. Since it was an illusion formation, the undead spirits in front of them were all illusions. There was no need to resist at all. Puff, puff. Blood splattered everywhere. The 2 angels were directly torn apart by the undead spirits and died on the spot. What's going on? The other angels were shocked. Some of them did not intend to resist the undead spirits. At this moment, they hurriedly blocked the undead spirits.
Damn it, the illusion of this great formation has already reached the point where it can pass for real.
The illusion can also launch a physical attack. What a brilliant formation! An angel who was proficient in runic formations roared. What? The other angels had ugly expressions on their faces. This illusion formation had actually reached the point where it could pass for real. This was terrifying. If it was just an illusion formation, they could ignore these undead spirits and slowly find a way out. However, if the illusion formation still had the power to attack, then it would be troublesome. The threat of this illusion formation would increase exponentially. Attack space with all your might. The foundation of these illusion formations should be embedded in space. As long as space is destroyed, this battle formation. Sarah roared. Attack. As the angels blocked the undead spirits, they concentrated their power and attacked in one direction. Boom boom. A huge explosion occurred in that direction. The void exploded into terrifying holes. However, the formation was not destroyed or weakened. They still did not rush out. Undead spirits were still rushing towards them from all directions. Outside the formation, Lu Ming, Ling Yue, and Dandan stood in the air. In their eyes, there were no undead spirits in the void in front of them. It was the same as before. He saw that the angels were running around in circles. They were running around in circles and attacking randomly. They couldn't see them at all. I spent half a day setting up this formation. How can they destroy it? Unless the Divine Emperor makes a move. Hee hee. Dandan sneered proudly. Let's do it. Ling Yue opened her mouth and took out the Elven King's bow. Her divine power boiled and poured into the Elven King's bow. An arrow condensed. Swish. A terrifying arrow pierced through the void and shot towards the angel race prodigies. The arrow was aimed at an 8-winged angel of the 4th layer of the Divine Emperor realm. The 8-winged angel didn't seem to feel the arrow at all. The arrow flew into the illusion array. Only when it was 1 meter away from the angel's forehead did the angel feel a terrifying sense of danger. However, a distance of 1 meter was too short for Ling Yue's arrow. It was so short that the time needed was negligible. Even if he wanted to block it, it was too late. Puh. The angel's forehead was pierced by the arrow and he died on the spot. Be careful, there's an ambush. The other angels roared. Puh. In the next moment, another arrow was shot, and another angel's prodigy was killed. Ling Yue shot out 2 arrows in a row. Then, she shot out a 3rd arrow. This arrow was aimed at Lafitte. However, Lafitte was not something an ordinary angel could compare to. His spiritual sense was extremely sharp. When the arrow was 100 meters away from him, he could sense it. A distance of 100 meters required a very short amount of time, but it gave Lafitte time to react. At all times, he held the angel sword in his hand. At this moment, he subconsciously held it horizontally in front of him. Clang! The arrow hit the angel sword and caused a violent vibration. Lafitte couldn't help but retreat.
He was caught by the sharp claws of a stone spirit, and his body was almost cut open.
Ah, Mu Yun, if you have the ability, fight fair and square. What's the point of hiding outside the array and sneak attacking? Lafitte roared. If you want to fight, I'll fight with you. At this moment, a cold voice came from behind Lafitte. Lafitte quickly turned around and saw a figure. This figure was naturally Lu Ming. Lu Ming held the Ice Shen staff and looked at Lafitte coldly. He didn't look injured at all. His chi was vigorous to the peak. Mu Yun, die for me. Upon seeing Lu Ming, there was a cold murderous intent in Lafitte's eyes. The angelic sword glowed and slashed toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming wasn't afraid at all. He waved his Ice Shen staff and attacked Lafitte. Their attacks collided, and then Lafitte's body shook violently. He was forced back repeatedly, blood spraying out of his mouth. He almost lost his grip on the angelic sword. After becoming a celestial soldier, Lafitte had also entered the fortune tower and his cultivation level had also increased. He now had the strength of the 5th godly emperor layer. However, Lu Ming's cultivation level was at the 3rd level of the divine emperor realm, which was only 2 levels lower than Lafitte's. Given Lu Ming's combat capability, even if he did not use his weapon of mass destruction, his actual combat capability was above Lafitte's. After both of them used their weapons, Lu Ming's fighting strength was even greater than Lafitte's. Lafitte, you're the one who called the spirits of Yin clan to kill me, right? Let me tell you a piece of bad news. The spirits of Yin clan have all died in my hands. Now, I'll send you down to accompany them," said Lu Ming coldly. He raised his ice shin staff again. Chapter 4061. The mysterious ice rod carried a terrifying chill and a berserk strength chi as it pressed down towards Lafitte. The terrifying might caused Lafitte's expression to become incomparably ugly. "Save me, save me!" Lafitte roared in fear. "Mu Yun, you're courting death. How dare you? Kill!" In the surroundings, the other experts of the Angel clan roared as they charged towards Lu Ming. All sorts of holy light divine swords slashed towards Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming did not dodge, as if he did not see it. This was because the 2nd-tier heavenly soldier armor on his body had already been activated, and a layer of light enveloped him. Boom, boom, boom. The attacks of the Angel clan landed on the light barrier, causing a violent explosion. However, they were unable to break through Lu Ming's defense. The 2nd-tier heavenly soldier armor was able to withstand the full strength attack of a 1st-layer divine emperor. How could these Angel clan geniuses break through it? Lu Ming stabilized his body, the mysterious ice rod did not stop, and continued to attack Lafitte. Lafitte roared as his entire body was covered in holy light. He was going all out. However, in that move just now, he had already been severely injured by Lu Ming. He was unable to unleash his full strength, so how could he block Lu Ming's full strength attack? Boom! The mysterious ice rod pressed down, and the holy light on his body exploded. The angel sword in his hand flew out. He screamed miserably as his body was torn apart, his body and soul destroyed. This 10-winged angel of the Angel clan was killed by Lu Ming. His storage ring was grabbed by Lu Ming. Swoosh! At the same time that Lu Ming made his move, Ling Yue was not idle either. She continued to pull on the Elf King bow that was covered in blood, and the arrow pierced through the air, killing an Angel clan genius. "Mu Yun, Ling Yue, how dare you? You dare to kill us? The Angel clan will not rest until you are dead. Even if you escape to the ends of the earth, you will still die." The angels roared. Some of them wanted to take out the dream god Jade to spread the news. However, how could Lu Ming let them have their way? Lu Ming took out the zephyr bead. Strong winds howled and swept out, enveloping the angels. At the same time, Dandan was also using all his strength to activate the illusion array. The undead spirits were constantly attacking the angels, making it impossible for the angels to use the dream god Jade to transmit messages. Miserable screams rose and fell. Some of the weaker angels were killed one by Lu Ming and Ling Yue. Very quickly, out of the 20 or so Angel clan geniuses, only 3 were left. These 3 were the most powerful angels in the Angel clan. One of them was Chara, and the other 2 were also 10-winged angels with astonishing power. The 3 of them had bloodshot eyes as they desperately unleashed their power to protect themselves. Lu Ming wouldn't have been able to compete with Sala. After all, Sala had the strength of the 7th godly emperor layer, and he had a powerful weapon. However, Lu Ming was not afraid of him. He had been severely injured by the 10,000 demonic gods slaughtering array and had not recovered yet. Boom! Lu Ming held the ice shen rod in his hand and exchanged blows with Sala. The 2 of them retreated at the same time. "You want to kill me with just you 2? No way! Just wait for the crazy revenge of my Angel clan." Sala roared, his face grim. However, what welcomed him was Ling Yue's arrow. Lu Ming used the Great Divine Wind technique to draw out the power within the Zephyr bead, enveloping the other 2 Angel clan geniuses and continuously killing them. At the same time, Dandan also used all his strength to control the illusion array to attack the 2 angels. For the time being, the 2 angels were trapped, while Lu Ming and Ling Yue attacked Sala with all their might. Sala had yet to recover from his serious injuries,
and his remaining strength was about the same as when Lu Ming activated the Ice Mystic Rod. In addition to Ling Yue, he could not block it at all. Moreover, the second-tier heavenly soldier armor on his body had already used up all of its energy during the great battle with the demons. It automatically retracted and hid in his body, unable to be of any use at all. After blocking a few moves, his body was invaded by the coldness of the Ice Shen Rod. His body was covered in a layer of ice, and the terrifying coldness seemed to have frozen the blood in his body. His aura became weaker and weaker, and his strength became more and more empty. After 2 more moves, Ling Yue's arrow finally hit him. It pierced through his chest and created a large hole. Sala roared. He was not dead yet, and his body emitted a dazzling holy light. He roared wildly, wanting to self-destruct and perish together with Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming used the Ice Shen Rod to suppress him. The terrifying chill directly froze him, and then, a violent force bombarded his body. Sala didn't even have time to scream before he died. Although the remaining 2 Angel Clan geniuses were quite strong, the outcome was already decided. Under the siege of Lu Ming and the others, they were all quickly killed. Since then, this team of angels had all fallen. One of them had died at the hands of the demons, and the other had died at the hands of Lu Ming and the others. It could be said to be incomparably miserable, and their losses were heavy. These were the top geniuses of the Angel Clan. Among them, there were 4 10-winged angels. 10-winged angels, even in the huge Angel Clan, were extremely rare. Every one of them was a top-notch monster. In the future, when they grew up, they would become the mainstay of the Angel Clan. In fact, most of the backbone of the Angel Clan were 10-winged angels. After all, 12-winged angels were a minority among the minority. If the upper echelons of the Angel Clan knew about this, they would probably be so angry that their hearts would ache. Angel Clan, this is considered interest. If you continue to target me, I will make you suffer an even greater loss. A cold light flashed in Lu Ming's eyes. After collecting all the Angel Clan's storage rings, he burned the bodies of the Angel Clan's geniuses into ashes. They left this place and returned to the bottom of the lake. Then, they took out the storage rings and began to count them. Haha, we're rich. After counting, Dandan grinned from ear to ear. The other treasures were nothing. The main thing they cared about was the evil demon's spirit blood. There was a lot of evil demon's spirit blood in the storage rings of the Angel Clan's geniuses. It was probably not much less than Lu Ming and the others combined. Although nearly half of the Angel Clan's geniuses had died in the battle with the demons, the other half of the Angel Clan's geniuses were relatively weak. These Angel Clan's geniuses did not have much evil demon spirit blood. The evil demon spirit blood was carried by the Angel Clan's geniuses, such as Sarah, Lafitte, and the others. This was a big harvest. Although this trip to the Constellation Demon Island was full of twists and turns and the other members of the Angel Clan had died in battle, the amount of evil demon spirit blood they had obtained was astonishing. It was even more than the amount of evil demon spirit blood they had obtained in the 8 Snake Mountain range. There was a lot of evil demon spirit blood of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. There were even more evil demon spirit blood of the 8th Godly Emperor layer and the 7th Godly Emperor layer. If they exchanged it for merit points, it would definitely be astonishing. It would definitely be more than the merit points they had obtained in the previous assessment. I wish everyone a happy new year and hope that you will be free from all diseases and viruses.
Chapter 4062.
The 3 of them kept the spirit blood and planned to divide it equally when they returned to Nantian City. After dividing it, the 3 of them left the place and continued to hide and hunt the devils. In the blink of an eye, another half a month had passed. In this half a month, the 3 of them didn't gain much. After all, they didn't have a battle formation and could only hunt down the devils that were alone or in small numbers. But during this time, the devils they encountered were getting fewer and fewer. Lu Ming and the rest guessed that the Heavenly Palace should have completely gained the upper hand and killed most of the devils. Also, the remaining devils should have retreated to the depths of Constellation Devil Island. Lu Ming and the rest didn't intend to go to the depths of Constellation Devil Island to participate in the battle there. Now that they didn't have a battle formation, if they encountered a large number of devils or God Emperor devils, they wouldn't even know how they died. The 3 of them planned to stay in Constellation Devil Island for a few more days. If they still didn't gain anything, they would return to Nantian City. On this day, they were moving forward at the bottom of the lake. Suddenly, Dandan stopped and said, "Tens of thousands of miles ahead, I feel a devil chi reaction, but it looks very weak. Dandan had been setting up a battle formation to check the devils around.
How many devils are there? Lu Ming asked. I'm not sure.
It's blocked by a layer of devil chi, but the devil chi is weak. The devil's cultivation shouldn't be strong, Dandan said.
Then let's go and take a look, Lu Ming said.
Immediately, the three of them went in the direction pointed by Dandan. Not long after, they saw a cave at the bottom of the lake. The devil chi was emitted from the cave. However, the devil chi wasn't very strong. There are indeed devils. I didn't expect that there are still devils hiding in this cave. It seems that they are hiding from the Heavenly Palace's experts, Lu Ming said.
Not good. Retreat quickly.
This is a devil emperor level devil.
Suddenly, Bone's voice sounded. What?
A devil emperor level devil?
Lu Ming was shocked. Retreat! Lu Ming shouted. He, it's too late to retreat now. A cold voice could be heard coming from the cave.
Following this, a ferocious demonic aura burst out from the cave and swept toward Lu Ming's group like a storm.
Powerful and terrifying. Block it! Lu Ming roared.
However, the demonic chi was too fast, and they were not prepared. It was too late for them to take out their trump cards. In their haste, they could only activate their celestial armors to block it. Boom! Boom! With a series of explosions, Lu Ming and the other two were sent flying.
Lu Ming was still fine.
He had the second-tier Heavenly Soldier battle armor and was able to completely block this power. As for Ling Yue and Dandan, their faces were somewhat pale as they spat out a mouthful of blood.
Lu Ming was rather surprised.
This was because the power of this attack was much weaker than he had imagined. Didn't Bone say that there was a Devil Emperor level devil in the cave? It was impossible for a Devil Emperor level devil to only have such a little attack power. It was normal for him to be able to block it, but Ling Yue and Dandan definitely wouldn't be able to block it. Even if they didn't die, they would still be severely injured. But now, Dandan and Ling Yue had only suffered some minor injuries. This was a bit strange. Was this the power of a Devil Emperor level? The three little fellows from the Heavenly Palace have some strength?
A puzzled voice came from the cave.
Following that, a black shadow flashed, and a tall and sturdy figure appeared in front of Lu Ming and the others. This was also a devil, but his figure was even more burly. His entire body was surrounded by a dense demonic aura, and a terrifying pressure was emitted from his body.
Devil Emperor!
This was definitely the pressure of a Devil Emperor level demon, because the three of them had felt the pressure of a Devil Emperor level demon before. That Devil Emperor level demon had even defeated the Angel Race's battle formation, and it was very similar to the pressure of this Devil Emperor level demon in front of them.
However, this demon's aura was very weak.
This was because there was a hole in his heart. Inside, there was a golden light that was constantly corroding this demon's body.
That was Buddha's light.
The three of them recognized it at a glance. Lu Ming finally knew why this demon's attack wasn't that strong. It was because this demon was severely injured, and it was injured by an expert from the Buddha clan. Obviously, this demon was hiding in that cave to heal his injuries and was discovered by them. This demon's eyes were like copper bells as he stared at Lu Ming and the other two. His eyes were filled with greed as he roared, "Peerless monsters, 3 peerless monsters from the Heavenly Palace. This is definitely a great supplement. If I eat you guys, my injuries will quickly heal, and my cultivation will even take a step forward. Ha ha ha."
Blazing. Greedy.
The demon's eyes became more and more passionate and greedy. Although the move just now didn't kill Lu Ming and the other two, he wasn't alarmed. Instead, he was happy. This proved that Lu Ming and the other two were peerless monsters. As long as he ate Lu Ming and the others, it would be very beneficial to him. As for Lu Ming and the other two, how high was their cultivation? No matter how strong they were, how strong could they be? Although he was severely injured, he was confident that he could easily take down Lu Ming and the other two. Boom! As soon as his voice fell, the demonic aura on his body crazily erupted. His burly demon body pounced towards Lu Ming and the other two. The demon lord tore through the void and grabbed towards Lu Ming and the other two. Even though this demon was seriously injured, the power of his attack was still very shocking. Without any hesitation, Lu Ming took out the Ice Mystic Rod. All the taboo power in his body poured into the Ice Mystic Rod and blasted it out. At the same time, Ling Yue also took out the Elf King bow that was stained with blood and shot out an arrow with all her might. At this moment, Dandan also attacked with all his might. A large number of runes appeared on his body. The space between his eyebrows glowed, and the shadow of a word appeared vaguely. It was the word formation. The word disappeared in a flash. More runes rushed out of Dandon's body and formed a huge battle. A huge tortoise appeared and let out a roar that sounded like a dragon's roar before pouncing towards the demon. Boom! 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 3 violent explosions rang out. Strength overflowed in all directions, and demonic aura soared into the sky. Then, a figure retreated backwards and crashed into a huge rock at the bottom of the lake. The huge rock exploded, and the lake water stirred up thousands of waves. This retreating figure was surprisingly that Demon Emperor level abyssal. This made Lu Ming, Ling Yue, and Dandon somewhat dumbfounded. So weak? Was this still a Demon Emperor level expert? They were originally so nervous that they were about to die. They attacked with all their might, afraid that they wouldn't be able to resist this Demon Emperor level demon. They didn't expect that with a single move, this Demon Emperor level demon would be sent flying. This demon is too heavily injured. A thought flashed through the minds of Lu Ming and the other two. They had seen the Demon Emperor level demon make a move before. Its power was extremely shocking, and it could destroy a battle formation on the side of the Heavenly Palace with a single move. It was far from the strength in front of them.
Chapter 4063.
In fact, not only were Lu Ming and the others dumbstruck, but the Demon Great Emperor was also dumbstruck. What was going on? The 3 little guys from the Heavenly Palace looked so weak. How could they be so strong? It wasn't that he didn't know how serious his injuries were, but he was a Demon Great Emperor. Even if he was seriously injured, killing a cultivator of the 9th Godly Emperor layer was as easy as pie for him. But a moment ago, he had been blown away by Lu Ming and the others. How was that possible? His mind couldn't wrap itself around the situation. However, Lu Ming and the others had already reacted.
It turns out that he's a weakling.
Haha, kill him. Dandon burst into laughter.
In a flash, he created a gigantic turtle. It was the silhouette of the world godly turtle. It was incomparably huge. It moved towards the Demon Great Emperor.
Bzzz.
Ling Yue pulled the bowstring again, and an arrow shot out. Lu Ming waved his Shen ice staff and attacked the Demon Great Emperor. That's right, they directly attacked. They wanted to slaughter this Devil Emperor level devil. A Demon Great Emperor's demon blood could be exchanged for a lot of merit points. A Godly Emperor layer demon couldn't compare to it. It wasn't easy to come across a half-dead Demon Great Emperor. How could they miss it? The 3 people's attacks were incomparably violent. Finally, the Demon Great Emperor woke up. In a flash, his lungs were about to explode from anger. A few low-level Godly Emperors surprisingly wanted to kill him first. This had never happened before. Even if a Godly Emperor dared to attack him, he had to be at least a peerless genius of the 9th Godly Emperor layer. But Lu Ming and the others' cultivation levels were not high. The highest cultivation level was only the 4th Godly Emperor layer. They were too far away from the Godly Emperor layer. Shouted the Demon Great Emperor furiously. Demon Chi exploded. A demon blade appeared in his hand and he slashed 3 times. 3 blade shadows appeared and collided with Lu Ming and the others' attacks. A violent explosion sounded, and the 3 demonic saber shadows collapsed. The Demon Emperor was once again blasted away, smashing a large number of boulders. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood, and his injuries were even more serious. The Buddha's light in the hole in his chest shone brightly, worsening the demon's injuries. Lu Ming and the others' confidence was greatly boosted after they managed to repel and even injure this evil demon a second time. It seemed that this demon had really reached the end of its tether. I'll block him from the front. Yue, shoot with your bow and arrows. Dandon, don't go all out to set up a formation. Set up a killing formation. Lu Ming sent a sound transmission to Ling Yue and Dandon, then flew up and smashed down with the ice profound rod. At the same time, the Gale Pearl appeared in his left hand, and a violent gale rushed out, rushing towards the Demon Overlord Realm demon. The demon of the Fiend Emperor realm roared. He endured his injuries and slashed his fiend saber continuously toward Lu Ming. It collided with the gale and then with the Bing Xian rod. Boom! Clang! After the 2 of them collided, Lu Ming's body shook violently. The mysterious ice rod in his hand buzzed non-stop as he retreated a few steps. After all, he was a Demon Overlord realm demon. Even though he was heavily injured, his strength was still astonishing. Lu Ming alone was still at a disadvantage. As soon as Lu Ming retreated, the demon overlord realm demon wanted to charge forward and kill Lu Ming. However, Ling Yue shot an arrow at him. This demon had no choice but to block Ling Yue's arrow and had no time to deal with Lu Ming.
As for Dandan, he began to set up the array with all his might.
Damn it! The demon overlord realm demon roared in his heart, his anger soaring to the sky. You little bastards, just you wait. The demon roared and wanted to escape. Being forced to escape by a few low-level divine emperors was a great humiliation, but he had no choice. He felt that if he continued to stay, he might really be finished off by Lu Ming and the other two. However, how could Lu Ming let him escape so easily? Lu Ming held the mysterious ice rod in his hand and attacked with all his might. At the same time, the gale inside the gale pearl was constantly drawn out as if it was free. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The gale formed several tornadoes that surrounded the demon overlord realm demon and attacked him continuously. In addition to Lu Ming's attack, it was not that easy for this demon to retreat. Even if he could retreat, he would be attacked by Lu Ming. His injuries would be even more serious and he would have to pay a price.
Brat, since you're courting death, I'll fulfill your wish.
The demon roared, his eyes ferocious, revealing a crazed look. His body began to stir. Inside, bright red bone spikes protruded from his flesh and blood. His aura became a little more berserk. He pounced directly at Lu Ming and slashed at Lu Ming with his demonic saber. Clang! The demonic saber collided with the mysterious ice rod once again. The mysterious ice rod trembled incessantly and was knocked to the side. As for the demon saber, it continued to slash at Lu Ming. Lu Ming did not retreat. If he retreated, the other party would find an opening to escape. Lu Ming did not dodge or retreat, allowing the demonic saber to slash at his body. Wang! The second-class heavenly soldier's armor kept trembling, but it was not broken. After all, the other party was not at his peak. For a time, he was unable to break through the second-class heavenly soldier's armor. Let's see how many moves you can block. Kill, kill, kill. The demon overlord realm demon roared crazily, and his aura actually increased a little. Obviously, he had gone all out and used some kind of desperate method. Generally speaking, this kind of desperate method would have side effects, but now he couldn't care less. He had a demonic saber in one hand and a demonic claw in the other. He crazily attacked Lu Ming's body. In the blink of an eye, at least a dozen attacks landed on Lu Ming's body. However, they were all blocked by the second-class heavenly soldier's armor. During this time, Ling Yue also launched an attack, but it was blocked by this demon. After continuous attacks, even the second-class heavenly soldier's armor had consumed a lot of energy. The light it formed dimmed down. However, Lu Ming still did not retreat. Kill! Lu Ming let out a long roar, and from the Zephyr Pearl, a strong wind howled out, sweeping towards the demon. At the same time, the Ice Shen Rod attacked again. Let's see who can hold on. The demon overlord realm demon roared. Ignoring his own defense, he continued to attack Lu Ming. In the blink of an eye, another dozen or so attacks landed on the second-class heavenly soldier's armor. With a bang, the second-class heavenly soldier's armor finally ran out of energy and the light shield exploded. But at the same time, Lu Ming's attack also landed on the demon's body. Although this demon was a demon overlord realm demon, his body was incomparably hard and his defense was astonishing, but he could not completely block Lu Ming's attack. Wounds appeared on his body, and one of his wings was blown apart by the Ice Shen Rod. The demon overlord realm demon spat out a few more mouthfuls of blood. However, his eyes were incomparably ferocious as he roared, "Die!" A few bright red bone spurs on his body actually left his body and pierced towards Lu Ming at an astonishing speed. He had been waiting for this opportunity to break through the defense of Lu Ming's armor and kill Lu Ming in one fell swoop. You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.